Oh, well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to MMM episode. I don't know. What episode are we on now? 96. Getting close to that 100 mark. Well, hope you're all having a great Monday. We have a great panel here tonight. Well, there's only one guest, so one person. we do have a great panel. Anyway.
We are a great panel.
We are a great panel, but we do have a great guest who's it's first time back on the show in a while.
Yeah, dude.
Uninspired reviewer. He's too good for us. He's French, so he thinks he's better than us. Just kidding.
I'm in the better time zone. Okay.
Yeah, you think so? How you doing, buddy? How's everything going over there, across the pond?
I'm doing great, man. It's a bit cold. I'm drinking some tea. Woke up less than 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, man, we're chilling. We're chilling. And plus, I'm discussing I Saw the Devil, which is one of, I guess, my most memorable movie experiences.
Oh, it's an experience.
Yeah, I just love this movie, and it's a pleasure to be here and talking about it, man. Because I think I asked Vex. Vex was like, "Hey, you want to be on for I Saw the Devil?" Like 6 months ago, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then last weekend, I texted her. I'm like, "I'm still good, right?" She said, "Huh?"
Yeah, yeah. I know. I didn't even see you on the calendar. I'm like, "Yeah, Adam, that's fine. Whatever." That's what happens when we book. Well, she books these things, so but it's okay. I'm glad that you remembered because it's always lovely having you on. Always.
I wrote this down in my calendar. I was like, "Fuck it, even if I have work, I'm doing this. I love this movie,
man.
And I love MMM, man."
Well, we love you too, buddy. We appreciate you. Yeah, so we're doing I guess I don't know, Vex. How would you? Is this would you say this is an action thriller revenge movie? Is that like the perfect description for this film?
C.
Okay, you got to say it in Korean.
She brought her Korean. C.
Yeah, C. Yeah, so it's a 2010 South Korean action thriller directed by, I'm going to get this wrong. Is it Kim Jee-woon? Is that the director of the film?
Kim Jong. Ooh, yeah.
Written by Park Hoon-jung. These fucking names.
Dude, anytime you hear Kim or Park, that's Korean.
Well, I mean, if you've seen the movie Old Boy, then White Bear's favorite movie, by the way.
Hey, wait a minute. Is Kim Jee-woon? Kim Jee-woon? That's not that hard. Come on.
I said it. What did I said? Kim Jee-woon.
You said it like you were trying to shit out a batch of noodles. That's why.
That's how you pronounce Asian names. No, sorry.
God. Yeah, dude, you have to be like Kim Jee-woon, Choi, Min-sik, Lee Byung-hun.
I didn't realize this till just now. This is actually the second movie of his I've seen. I saw A Tale of Two Sisters also, which he directed in 2003.
I don't even want to know what that's about. I swear to God.
It's a ghost story. Calm down.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Sometimes
it's not some Twilight Cullen family stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, Cannoli's hesitation is justified because every Korean movie he's seen at this point is disturbing as fuck.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, dude,
my hesitation is warranted.
Like, I Saw the Devil is basically like you can call it every person in Korea is either a serial killer or a normal person. It's like,
right.
Because every person we meet in this is basically just a serial killer.
Yeah,
I mean, these South Korean films make you start to wonder: should we be rooting for the North?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is a Vex pick, which I love having the panel pick movies once in a while because they're interesting. This is something that never would have been on my radar, like Old Boy, right? I think last year is when you told me to watch this, and I did. And then just now, obviously this past weekend, I think I enjoyed it more the second time because you catch some things that you didn't the first time. But there's a lot of questions we have, and Vex, you're the perfect person and uninspired too because you guys love this stuff. You love this genre, these types of movies. Perfect people to have on the panel. But before we get into that, I want to thank I don't know how to fucking say that because I'm retarded today.
Old Mate
John.
Well, listen. Today's the day. Thank you for subscribing.
Old Mate John.
And just for you joining the madness, we'll give you this one real quick.
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
But anyway, let's scrub through this film because there's a lot to talk about here. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Cannoli, you only made it about 60% your way through the people intro.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay. Anyway, we have
He said, "Hi, Tur. Hi, Vex. All right, let's go."
yeah. Fuck you, co-host. I don't even like you people. Anyway, sorry, Jesus.
I was
today-
like, I guess
No,
you and Whitey,
no,
we
today-
can sit this one out.
That's my beautiful co-host. No, my chat. Today has been a day, but anyway, my brain's not functioning. But anyway, yes, I do love my co-host sometimes. White Bear, how are you today, sir?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Nice to see you.
I love you.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I know I was skipped. It's fine. It's fine. But
I still love you.
Chorizo.
Chorizo. I do apologize, Whitey. I love you still. I always will.
Bless your heart.
Vex, how are you doing?
I have a raging headache and I'm pretty high as well. So
I can tell.
where I'm at.
That's okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see how the show goes. Gore King, since you pointed out that I'm an asshole, how are you doing?
I promise I wasn't offended. I was like, but just for the optics.
No, I appreciate that. That's why I have you people on to keep me in check. I really appreciate you. Thank you for that. By the way.
I'm good. I saw this for the first time yesterday. It was definitely a very entertaining movie. I definitely need to watch it again because I have some questions about regarding some of the people on this, but
yeah, we all do.
This was a fun movie to watch, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie. Not a bad one, entertaining, but there are some questions. So as we're scrubbing through, so the movie just kind of I don't know what people expected with this movie. I didn't know what to expect because it wasn't really explained. I was just told to watch it initially. Like, you'll like it. It's a fun movie. It's not a fun movie.
Fun movie. Oh.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. There are action scenes that are fun.
Listen,
I don't know.
I think that this is a fun movie. This to me
Yeah.
is a fun, entertaining movie.
Entertaining, I would use. Fun.
No. To me, this is fun. This is pure escape.
I don't want anyone in the chat to think that, this is like,
It's a great movie.
Something chipper and upbeat.
Yeah. I'm
They
gonna
actually
butcher.
cut out the
Bring your
the
kids.
orphanage scene, man. They had a scene where they were gonna follow her, say hi to all the kids and stuff like that, and
No
then
shit.
see her take her car, get the flat tire, and then call out. But then they cut all of that out. But they did film it. It's in the deleted scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is there an extended version of this movie, or is this the only version of this
No,
movie?
they cut out a couple of scenes, but I think it works well as is because it's more just fluff. You don't really need any of it to understand the story. Because I think that in the beginning, just with the phone call, they established really well the relationship that she has with her husband.
Yes.
I think it just gives you enough for you to understand the rampage that the husband goes on. And
yeah.
that is enough.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were deleted scenes until just well, I mean, I was aware there were, but like I didn't know there were.
They got rid of.
God, you're so high. It's hilarious.
I'm sorry. My head is fucking killing me.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I haven't. Are the deleted scenes available on YouTube?
I don't know, man. It came with a copy that I downloaded. I had the deleted scenes and I had the behind the scenes, so I can.
so you're-
I will have to find that because I've unfortunately, like, this is one of those movies that I'd love to own on Blu-ray when I have the space to have a Blu-ray collection. So, but yeah, I knew that this trivia, this movie was like cut down twice just so it could get released because otherwise, like the Korean like film rating board or whatever, they had deemed it like too violent. So it was ready to get a restricted rating.
I was gonna ask, like, what is their rating system compared to America? Because I would think they'd be a little more lenient, maybe, but maybe.
I would have thought so too.
I don't know what their system is like, but so the international cut, which is the one that is on Tubi and that most of us have seen, that is more faithful to the original cut the director wanted out.
Yeah.
So like the Korean cut, it runs a bit longer, but most of the violence is taken out. And then in the international cut, he like the director cut out the stuff that he felt was like a bit too fillery. So maybe that's like the deleted scene that you were talking about, uninspired. And then he added back in all of the violence
later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
according to the interwebs.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, according to the interwebs, the Korean rating system, I mean, as far as like the types of ratings they have are not too dissimilar from us. They have their G rating is kind of between our G and PG. It's called all. They have the 12 and over, which is PG. So similar. They have a 15, which kind of crosses over between our R and PG, and then they have their NC-17 is 19. And then they have just this ominous white stamp with Korean characters on it.
Base, bro.
Refusal. No,
white is right. Just kidding. Yeah. So, what the fuck was I going? Oh yeah. So at the beginning of the movie, you have obviously this girl in a car. Obviously, she's broken down, and this is her husband, right? And he works for the Secret Service. You just so you just assume he's just protecting politicians and shit, and he's on the phone. He's on the phone with her. I will say a funny part. If you watch the English dub of this movie, which is a goddamn catastrophe, but it's hilarious. This part here, especially when he starts singing to her. Oh God, you gotta watch it. I wish I could find
it. Was the best part of the movie.
Oh God, it's so bad. But anyway, yeah. So
Whitey, did you only watch this with the English dub?
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes, it was.
Oh no.
Oh dude. I'm afraid that the deleted scenes is the good part of the movie.
Wow.
I did not see it here. No, I'm kidding, but
I love the score for this movie, man. I think the score is really good, and it's kind of poetic in the way that it's used. It's weird because it has the same old boy feel where the score is really used to complement everything, and it's very grand orchestral themes, which I love, man. I just think that the usage of it is so good. And even at the beginning, when they're just riding through the snow and it's from the POV of the killer, you just see a cop car pass in front of him like nothing's wrong. It just tells you how nonchalant and how I guess how seasoned of a veteran like killer he is.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Also, this is one of the rare movies where they just show the killer's face outright. Yep, this is the dude.
Well, yeah, this is one of the things I really appreciate about this film, because when you look at a lot of other revenge films like this, or like, because I see a lot of people compare this to like Gone Girl or Seven, in terms of kind of the darker aspects it explores. But this is like one of the few films where instead of getting revenge on an unknown assailant or just like a general assailant, you get a feel for everything. And on top of that, you're put into the killer's shoes pretty like sufficiently early on and then consistently throughout the film. Like this film manages to balance both sides of a revenge story. You understand why the hero is getting revenge. You understand why if you want to get deep into it, you can understand why the villain is doing what he's doing. And I think that's what makes this like a near perfect movie, in my opinion. Because I don't think there's nothing else that comes to mind that does that so well.
It's a good shot right there.
One thing I actually do really appreciate, and it kind of makes me wonder how much of a mind to Western film the director had, because when there's that moment where he hits her and knocks her out and it goes black for a second. That a typical movie like this in the West, that would be the cutaway, and then you would basically cut right to where they find they find her body. That would be how we would typically film it. And it rolls the credits, all that stuff. And then the movie goes right back to if I were you, I would take this off screen and basically scrub through the whole torture scene, because there's basically nudity throughout it. But
I got it. The
fact that they go from that, they go to the credits, and then they're like, okay, now we're going to show you what he does. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get the sense that they, in a way, he was playing us to Western audiences a little bit like, okay, you might be used to us just cutting away from all this stuff. We're going to show it because we're going to justify his revenge motive, and we're going to make sure you want him to get revenge too.
Yeah, and I think the actor really, really sells it, man. It's interesting because they use a lot of what you're familiar with in terms of Korean I guess, Korean murder thrillers. You know, he uses a lot of the elements that you're used to seeing in Korean murder movies.
This is still that scene, by the way.
Yeah,
oh god, I forgot.
This is still the scene. You got to basically get to where they're at the river.
Take me.
Plus,
to
it's like
the
super
river.
gory too. It's like there's some pretty extreme gore here too.
He's basically just cutting her up. I love how he does it without remorse. You can just tell that he enjoys doing it. This is what he was. I guess you can tell he was put on Earth to do. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, he's good at it, right? And then the way he's toying with her, where she's begging him, like, "Don't kill me," and he's just looking at her with these like dead eyes, like he's just like, "What?" And she goes, "I'm pregnant," right? Thinking that's gonna stop him, and he's like, he just goes right and chops her in head. Like, it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit what's going on. This is what I do. So yeah, there was a whole bad torture scene, and then he just cuts her body parts, tries to clean up. The one thing you don't see because we couldn't show it is her. I guess it was her wedding ring falls off of her.
Yeah.
And it goes
down the grate.
Down the grate, and he hears it, but he does. You know, he kind of suspects what the hell was that, but he doesn't inspect it any further.
Well, I mean, from his perspective, he's probably like, I mean, if you were of a mind to think, you know, why would he leave that there? It's like, well, if they find this place, what's it matter? At that point, what's it matter?
And he's just cleaning up the blood, hosing it off. But it's like, and you see like the blood in the pipes coming out.
Also, as we've come to find later, nobody knows about this place as well.
No.
So I don't think there's much of a
except for his
care.
son. With it.
Yeah, which even then it seems that it's a coincidence more than anything that he happened to find.
Right. Yeah, it's so this is where this guy, if I'm not mistaken, is the chief, the old guy who's there pushing back.
Yeah,
he's the chief of police, right? Yeah.
Also her dad.
Her dad, the victim's dad, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is he the current chief or was he the former chief?
No, he is the current chief, and then the guy that's like leading the investigation, he's like a chief inspector or lead inspector or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this is where the boyfriend, Secret Service boyfriend, comes in, and they're searching this river, and they find her head. It's just fucking disturbing.
Just in the opening, I just wanted to. Sorry, I think we skipped over it. I missed it, but in the opening when he's on the phone with her, like when she says like, "Oh, there's a guy here," and he's saying that he can fix the flat tire because that's what she was doing at the side of the road. Right. And there's a moment where he hangs up the phone after he apologizes, like, "I'm sorry, I'm working on your birthday again." And you see like a flicker of, should I be worried about this?
Yeah.
Which like it's such a small, subtle thing that like you don't. It almost helps drive forward his motives later on. Yeah. Because like here, so like they find the head in the river. I don't think they find any of her other body parts. They don't confirm.
No,
or deny
the kids at the beginning, they find the ear in a bag, and then that's why the cops come.
Exactly. Yeah. But like the media is all here taking photos and everything, and pester on because it's the chief inspector of Seoul, South Korea's South Korea's capital. His daughter went missing, right? But when because all the reporters are clamoring, the head that they find falls out of a box.
Yeah.
And just the realization that hits, I think you can fast forward a little bit. Because the look that crosses Soo-hyun's face when he sees the head roll out is you can, you can fast forward a little bit more.
It's like a ride. Yeah, this is the scene, right, where the head comes out.
So they've picked up the head, and there we go. So rolls out, he catches a glimpse of it, and it's like he didn't want to believe it, and then you can see the recognition of, oh my god, this actually happened, and then you also see the fact that he's there with his father, and these are two men that work in law enforcement.
And they couldn't stop it.
They couldn't stop it. You see that flicker across his face as well. So without doing much at all, like in terms of dialogue, this film manages to really masterfully lay out motivation.
I'll say this. Number one, I'm actually kind of shocked this is all taking like I'm really like realizing that it's like, wow, this is the 20-minute mark. And I was just like, wow, so these opening like 20-30 minutes, just like especially the the grief aspect of it
this part here
pretty masterfully. For whatever other issues I might have later in the movie, it's like all this stuff I think is
very good.
This is so well done. Like his motivations, I don't think are any issue whatsoever. It's like you
Just
totally
to do
get
that-
why he wants to do what he ends up doing.
Yeah. I love
as far as-
how they find the head, man. I think it's so
With the in the water, yeah.
it feels like a fairy tale. That's what the beginning of the movie
Surreal.
feels like.
Yeah.
Especially with the score, the way that it's filmed, the way that you have the snow going down, the blood red that's tainting the snow, of course.
Right.
The way that everything goes with the killer and how he does what he does. Then just the reveal of the head, the way it just slowly turns. And it's just like this was made perfectly for the hair to blow and show her face just in the water. It's like
right moment, yeah.
Well, even the guy, the reaction of the guys who like find her first,
yeah, he puked.
that they're not used to this kind of thing, which I think that's always a good touch, you know, because I think that's much more realistic. A lot of times in movies, you just get everybody's jaded, like
We've
every
seen
single
this.
person's jaded. I'm like, is that really the case though? A lot of the time, because people who like scour rivers, you got to figure like if you're part of a huge group of people doing something like that, the chances of you being the person who finds it are generally speaking probably low. So if you're one of these guys who is probably
being someone who has actually seen, you know, a decapitated head before, very low as well.
Yeah. So I mean, because you got to think,
you know,
this is probably not his typical job. You know, he's probably maybe he cleans the river or something like that, or
he doesn't find heads in the river. No.
Yeah, he probably has a relatively normal day to day, and he's just like, oh, I have to be part of this team. Oh gosh,
I like this relationship between the father-in-law and like this part was like you said, it was really well done. You felt so bad for them because the dad's like, I'm breaking down, and it's just like
he's apologizing to him, which is really crazy. But again, like you feel that same, and you feel it again later on in the film too, because again, this is the police chief, like,
ladies and gentlemen in the chat, know how to change a fucking flat tire. This happens because a woman does not know how to change a flat tire.
And that, by the way, especially if you're a lady, because this is actually not an uncommon tactic of people who do terrible things to women. They'll spike a road to blow out the tires of a car and play the Good Samaritan. That's actually very common.
This is also
no, Boosh. Don't call AAA. She called AAA. She was waiting on AAA. AAA wasn't
and
arriving.
he did
That's
say, the husband
up.
did say, like, just wait on them. Don't
do anything. Well, the guys, this is why you also carry a fucking.
Exactly? This is why you need a gun.
And thank God we still live in a gun-friendly state, because bro, that guy hits my window, he's getting.
If you were like Australia or California, they'd be like, well, you should have. Well, a wrench would be okay because that's what he used. Not a gun. That's not fair.
All my hollow points are going right through that guy. He's not going to make it through. But no, I get it. But it's still most people don't carry firearms. Even So it's. This is all done, like you said. This is all very well done. You feel for this guy. Like the acting is really done well too.
This is the dude that played the white guy in G.I. Joe Retaliation, right?
No, he did. Yeah, and he was in Red 2. He was.
He was in Red 2. Yeah, he was the bad guy in Red 2.
This is the film that got him hired for Red 2.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yep. Because they saw his action scenes in this film, and they were like, "Oh, because this film got it went under the radar for most mainstream audiences, but like Hollywood took note of it when this came out, and it got a lot of praise, a lot of recognition."
I still haven't watched Red 2.
No, you should.
I watched the first one. I rewatched the first one with Sassy this weekend. This was on sale. I bought it, and I was like, "Wow, this movie's pretty." I like the first one a lot. It's just a fun action, goofy.
Second one is fun too, man.
Yeah.
Whenever someone makes a fucking movie called Retired, Extremely Dangerous, you know that it's gonna be a bit of nonsense.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We had a binge watch Cobra Kai, and I wish I didn't.
Gotcha. Just real quick. So they went to the funeral for the daughter, and that's why everyone is crying. So now he goes to his boss at the NIH, right? And he's just like, I just need 2 weeks off. And they're just like, dude, take a couple months off. Like, yeah, it'd be great if you stuck around, like, because that works for us. But like, you just lost your fiance.
Yeah.
He's like,
no, you've only been engaged to for like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no, all I need is 2 weeks and I'll be back. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. Which was kind of like the first time you're watching this, so like, okay, he's got a plan. Because you just like you would not just want just 2 weeks off. You would want time to kind of regroup and
2 weeks.
I mean, granted,
2 weeks.
I would still probably want the 2 months if this were my plan, because I was just like, I'd probably want some time off to process after I was finished.
Yeah. After I cut somebody apart. Yeah. So this guy. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say to that point, I think one of the things that comes across really strongly with a lot of the things that our protagonist does is that he doesn't want to dwell. He's very intentional. He's very calculated. He does things and then he moves on. So I think that is why he doesn't at least that's the way I interpret it as to why he only needs 2 weeks specifically.
He's kind of like a it's just work, and I think that's what sells the phone conversation with his wife even better at the beginning, because you can tell that he has that side of him where he really wants to appreciate his wife and wants to be there for her, but work is important. Yeah, so you can tell that the dude is a workaholic, but he still has time for his wife. Like even on his phone in the middle of 4 dudes, he has time to go to the bathroom and sing to her.
I love you. So this guy is a work colleague of him, but he gives him a capsule that has.
Listen, he's the Asian Q, dude.
The Asian Q, yeah. So he has a capsule that gives him.
It's a tracker.
It's a tracker, but it has a microphone in it.
Yeah.
Right? So he could hear everything. And that's fucking wild.
I don't even fucking know how this microphone thing works.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's in his colon. Like, how the fuck can he hear everything?
Yeah, dude. That is one thing that I still do not understand to this day. It is a magic microphone. Like, you would just be hearing his bubble guts. That would probably be it. Because the amount of shit that this dude could shit out, you could tell that he's constipated as fuck, man. He must have his stomach must be unhealthy as hell, man.
Hey, plug it into that USB port and off you go.
Yeah, so him and the chief. So I'm trying to remember here because I'm a little.
Cheers, Lance. Sleep well.
Thank you, Lance. See you, buddy. So the chief of police, is he giving him information on who they?
Yes. So the police are looking in, and they've narrowed down their list to 4 suspects who've been accused of similar crimes, and he shows this to Soo-hyun, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I think you got it.
So they show it to him, and I guess the dad is kind of in on it. He's like he wants something done, but he also he's kind of bound by the law not to do anything.
Right. Turning a blind eye, yeah.
Right. So he just takes it into his own hands and he starts going after all of them.
The first guy made me laugh when he catches up. He gets to this guy. So I'm
jacking off.
I'm trying to remember. Is there any nudity in this scene?
There is. There's his butt and what he's watching, which
what he's watching is censored, right? It's Asian.
No, well, it's only.
They show a scene. Yeah, hold on.
They show a good amount.
Hold on.
There's boobs. There's boobs shown.
I'll skip to it real quick.
The
part. So he gets to. Yeah, here we go. We're good here. He gets to the first victim, and God, what he does to this guy is just again everything he does to these people. I feel it. Like what's happening to the fuck? I feel it, and it's like this part here. I literally had to stand up and walk around when he hit him in the nuts. Oh God! So he finds this guy. He thinks this guy might be one of the. So he's trying to get information out of him. He's watching porn, jerking off, whatever. And then he ties him down. And what does he hit him with? A hammer? Is it a hammer?
It's a wrench. It's a wrench.
A wrench to his
pipe wrench.
Yeah, and I mean it's close up. You hear it, you see it, and you hear it, and I'm like.
Oh yeah, they don't hold back at that at all.
No,
you see the hit.
I stood up and had to walk. I was like, I had to pause. No. And the way they describe it here when the police get to them, and he's like, "Yeah, somebody crushed his dick when fucking."
Yeah, dude, that post-nut clarity must have hit, dude.
Just in case anyone doesn't realize this in the chat, so the 4 people that are suspected, they're people who in their prior history are. I think people who have committed similar crimes that I guess they've put them. It's a narrow list of people that are they've done things that would lead us to think they would do something even worse.
Like that. Oh God. Yeah, you're right. This is where they start laughing at it, and the guy's sitting there going, "Help me!"
and the fact he's not really doing a whole lot of work to figure out okay, I need to make sure I'm getting the right one. It's just whatever. I'm going to treat them all like they're the right one.
Yeah, it's just fuck it. He's on a rampage.
He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit,
Yeah.
and he just goes after one person after another. And there's another guy here. I love this where he just rams him with his car from behind, and he just goes flying. It's like not meant to be comical. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I found it funny some of the shit he was doing.
I mean, some of the stuff here is kind of very slapstick throughout the
Yeah.
movie, but they do it so seriously that you're just like, oh man,
Yeah.
yikes. I don't know. The way that they managed to balance that tone,
Mhm.
I still haven't really seen it in anything else because there's some
Agreed.
incredibly outlandish things in this
It's
movie.
ridiculous.
Really outlandish stuff, but it's played so seriously. And plus, you have the character motivations that just sell
Yeah.
it. And so you think, man, this is just really, really, really good. Which is why I say that it can be fun and it can be entertaining. So
when
yeah.
you're watching, when he puts the 4 people on the wall, right, the suspects, were you expecting the main guy to be the last guy he goes after?
Yeah.
Like,
no, he's not the last guy. He's the third guy.
Well, that's what I
No,
mean.
no,
Like,
he's saying, like,
what I'm saying, like,
No.
I would have expected it, like in most, like in America, like he probably would have been the last guy they find, right?
Oh yeah.
That he
yeah.
looks here. I'm like, I was actually kind of surprised, but it was a nice twist because it's like, all right, instead of just kind of lingering on it and going through him, showing him beating the shit out of all, so you already see what he's capable of doing to these people. So you get, so I thought that was kind of funny. I was
And
like,
plus,
oh,
he's a Secret Service dude,
Yeah.
so you know that
Yeah.
he's competent enough to do something like
100%.
that. I do
100%.
love the scene where they show him go into his room, turn off the lamp,
The light,
and
and he
they don't
turns it
cut.
right back on.
Turns it right back on. He's like,
And
yeah, fuck it, I gotta
This
work.
is what I mean. Like, he doesn't want the time to dwell on any
think
of this.
about
Like,
it.
he
Yeah.
needs to get this done. This is all that's really driving him and motivating him to do anything
Yeah.
at this point, which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Here we get another scene of another woman sitting out in the middle of the fucking darkness in the winter.
And one thing I forgot to say,
another scene you'll I'm pretty sure
I
there's
probably
something
have
after you
to.
catch her that
Yeah.
you'll have to
Like,
scrub
what-
past.
like one thing I forgot to mention, man, the wife's sister, hell yeah, man, she's really cute.
Get that
This
Asian.
cute.
nigga,
She's
oh my
cute.
god.
This guy's like, oh yeah, while he's abusing people, I'm gonna go fap in the bathroom to the sister. Sick bastard. Oh, I got you.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
there's a reason why they picked attractive women is because part of
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy, this killer, part of what he's doing, he's taking out sexual. I mean, in our culture, we would just say, "Oh, this guy's an incel taking out his revenge on good-looking women." That would be. It's like if you had modern reviewers talking about this movie, that's all they would be like. Oh, he's just a giant
He's
incel.
just an
That's what he is.
incel.
So the idea
Well,
of him having a kid's van, is that like more making him seem
Well,
more
not even
innocent?
having a kid's van, dude. Being a literal bus driver for children, like it's his actual job. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
canola kids can't drive.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm just saying though, like you see a guy driving a children's van, you're like, oh, this guy can't be that bad, you know.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
that's why they really go through the effort of showing you in the intro that a police car just passes
Mm.
next to him. You know,
Mhm.
Yes.
who would suspect an actual a legitimate kid's bus driver?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But still, like your instincts have to tell you something's not right here. But it's like, where the fuck are you coming from and going to? Where there's no like, yeah, the buses won't be. I don't even know. Didn't he say like the bus? He convinces her by saying the buses are done
Yeah, he
for
says
the
the
night.
buses won't be coming tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I could expect her to believe that because there's nothing there's no electronic boards to say the bus
That's
is
true.
arriving in how many minutes and plus it's snowy, and every single time that they go on a road except when they're in town, there
Mhm.
is no one on
Nobody
these
around.
roads, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one.
That's true. I like how this part again. It's kind of comical. He's looking for what his weapon's going to be, and he can't find it. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" You know,
Well, it's like it's show again another way that it's showing how practiced he is because like he's so warm and welcoming when he gets her
Mhm.
in, and the second that she just starts to ask any questions at all, he's just a dick to her. Like
Yeah.
Not even a
it's
dick,
creepy.
dude. He doesn't even speak. That's the scariest
But you
part.
know, like he gives her that look where it's like, why the fuck are you looking around? Like, what are you looking
Yeah.
for?
What
Kind
are
of
you
deal,
doing?
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I like
Yeah,
this.
he's going to kill her
Oh.
regardless, but he takes offense to even a look that he doesn't like. Like, why would you even suspect that? Like, you're confirming
Yeah,
every reason why I would.
I want to kill you. And then he's like, you ever seen one of these before? Bonk. He's just like right across
Yeah,
the head.
this
I'm
is
like,
kind of the most
Wild.
to me. This is the most ruthless kill in the movie because it's like in my mind, in an American
right.
film,
I
you
got
basically just have him grab the pipe, and then after that, you'd have him maybe punch her or something like that, or even have her respond. He's just like, "Why'd you look like you stepped in shit?" Boom, 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 done. It's like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate that they don't overdo like the sound effects with moments like that, where like as the blood spray, I think is disturbing enough.
Oh yeah.
But they don't overdo it with like any kind of like squelching effects like a lot of Western movies would do.
Blood's dripping
It's
from
like
her head.
a lot of it's like the visuals in this are generally more than enough. You don't need the overdone sound effects.
Yeah. So this
Because
is where
the visuals are so raw, man.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
they do it realistically. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. I agree.
Especially the tendon slash. Ew.
Oh god, that shit. Oh.
You know, I thought that it wouldn't bother me, man. I was watching it, I was like, no, it's not gonna bother me. I'm used to this shit. And then I was like, fuck.
Bro, I'm like sitting there grabbing my foot. I'm like, no, please. Don't. Yeah, so this is what the fuck is his name again? I'm so bad at this. Soon.
Just call him the protagonist. Just say the protagonist. There you go.
The guy,
Some young guy.
Some young guy. Yeah, he goes to the killer's parents' house looking for him, but he pretends he's an insurance.
Yes, so like
person.
the house and everything that are on file, they're like the guy's not there. So yeah, he goes to his parents' house and he's just like, listen, I'm looking for your son for a payout. I need you to confirm like what's his address and all of this stuff, right? And here you get like a really nice insight because he's just observing for most of this interaction, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Just showing like how he is devolving into a predator himself. But like they're just like, why would he take out the dad is like, listen, why would he take out a insurance policy? Like he doesn't give a shit about us. He left us, he abandoned his kids with us. Like why would he do this whatsoever? And the mom is still just trying to be like, listen, that's our son you're talking about. Like if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, right? And meanwhile he's showing her like she's trying to show him recent photos. And she shows him this mugshot photo.
Yeah.
She's like, is this recent? Like he looks scary.
Yeah. Look at his eyes, dude.
She has no idea what he's been doing in his
go.
spare time, which is really sad.
Yeah.
To see her recognize.
Yeah, there you go. This is where the dad's like, he doesn't give a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
Like why would
it also sets up the issues that he has with his father. They kind of hint at it. Especially later when he talks to the pharmacist and the pharmacist calls him son. He's like, no, you don't call me son.
Yeah.
So he has that aspect, and then after that, there's also when he goes for the schoolgirl. There's also the underage appreciation, I guess you could call it, aspect of him.
Appreciation wouldn't have used that word.
Right, uninspired.
Well, I don't want to say something for YouTube, dude. I don't want to call him, the word.
Like we've never said bad things on this channel. I'm surprised my channel's still fucking up all this time.
He likes him young. Okay, he likes him young.
I like how the dad's like, well, if the policyholder dies, doesn't the family get the money like they're hoping?
Yeah.
It kind of happens. And then they mentioned he has a son.
You know what's funny is that's an interesting insight though into the way into the father being kind of seeing him a little bit more realistically than the mother does, because mothers tend to try to see not my baby, or the father's like, no, our son's a piece of garbage.
No, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a piece of. And then the son, he has a son who
so like our protagonist goes outside because he doesn't really get anything out of the parents, and he's just like, oh, this must be the kid that they had mentioned. And he's like, hey, do you know where your dad is? And he's just like, shit.
Fuck you.
So this is how he
expecting the son to be younger.
Really?
No, I mean, we don't know his. We don't know the bad guy's age.
Years old,
Yeah. Well, the bad guy's how old by now? He looks like what? He's in his 40s,
50s.
Yeah, I would say like late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, early 50s.
So the son knows where this place is.
And the movie he's in the actor was when this came out was in his late 40s.
Oh, okay. So like nobody knows where this house is that the dad's staying up at. The son knows apparently.
Yeah, which that's something I actually I didn't mind. It was like one of those things like maybe that was him trying to bond with his kid because they clearly have a very rough and tumultuous relationship sort of deal. So I didn't mind that this was a bit of a plot convenience.
Yeah. just creepy. He's got like
It's a
files.
convenience, but it's an understandable one.
Yeah, but he breaks into these files and he sees like purses and women's bras and clothing, and he's like, "Oh, this is my guy."
He's looking for evidence, right? And it's like all the other guys, that he's found like weird stuff on them and whatnot. But this one is just particularly weird. And then he hears a door open. I remember the first time I watched this, I thought, "Oh my god, he's there!"
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, he's gonna come out of that door and try to attack him, or he's gonna be hiding behind there.
But it's just a draft. It turns out, nothing more. And then he finds the kill room in here, and that second woman that we see, Kyung-chul, or I'm just saying Jang. His last name is Jang. The blood is still there, and he hasn't washed it. And then something like catches his eye, and this is the ring that Jang didn't find when he killed his wife.
Could you fucking imagine finding this thing, and you're like, you know what happened already, but like you see the evidence. It's like, that's horrible.
Well, I mean, it's hard because at least you didn't know in detail what he did to her. That would have hurt me way more. Just in my mind, knowing he killed her already is something.
Shock her up.
Closure of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh. And also, I mean, to be fair, blood is hard to wash, man, especially in that amount. Even if you scrub hard and everything like that.
Do tell.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I know,
like bleach or something like that. Like blood doesn't really wash away.
The hydrogen peroxide is.
Now listen. I know about that because my people, we get rid of a lot of evidence. But like
that's why they dump them in the ocean, man.
We get rid of them in the desert here. We just dig holes and just put them deep.
Ain't no lie.
No.
We got them gators down here in the south.
Just like in Casino, there's a lot of holes in the desert, a lot of bodies buried in the holes. So this is where he's taking the kids home, and of course, like whoever the teacher is like, take them home, right? And he's like, okay, I do that, yeah.
They sound exactly like that.
Just like that.
I don't know. I like look at his face here, like how he's looking at them. It's just like I want to kill every
Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's a pretty typical bus driver look.
And that's very true. So is he like eyeing the exact person he's trying to kill?
No. I'm trying to remember. Doesn't he has he been fired at this point, or is he about to?
He's about to receive the phone call.
Yeah.
Like as far as I know, he wasn't necessarily planning on killing until he got fired.
No, he wasn't. Right.
Yeah, that's what spurred him wanting revenge.
They already know what's going on. Why not just take out?
He knows here. He's like, oh shit. Where the fuck did these people? Although he's taking her to that place.
Okay, it's after school, and there's like he gets a phone call from the school, and he knows immediately something's up because that's clearly not something that regularly happens. This girl seems to be the last girl that he has to drop off, and because he knows that he's screwed either way, he's like, I'm just gonna take you. Like I don't care. Yeah, let's just have some fun. It like everything's screwed anyways, kind of deal. So he takes her to, I get not quite an abandoned, but some greenhouse in the middle of nowhere. And
let's get past this scene.
There's no nudity in this scene.
Yeah, no nudity, man.
No nudity, but this is easily the most uncomfortable scene to watch.
Oh yeah.
Especially when he says, like, I should be allowed to like you. What's the issue with that? I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
It's a rough one.
Like, I have no idea the age of the actress. She's young enough. It's like, no.
But like, the script really doesn't hold back from making sure that this guy is just a downright degenerate in literally every sense. But the funny thing is when he encounters people that work against him or don't match up with what his goals are, he calls them monsters, which I find consistently funny, like unintentionally.
Yeah, which is why I like the title of the movie. It's like I saw the devil, and when you finish the film, you're like, okay, so who was the devil actually?
Was it the protagonist?
Your perspective.
I definitely think the villain's the devil because I think the husband is too. I'm sorry, I think he's kind of stupid personally. Around this point, I think he starts to act. I think he acts kind of stupid.
The devil.
Cannibals are pretty bad, but this guy's the worst person in the movie. He's the most horrifying.
I couldn't wait for the fucking.
The husband's a little too dumb for me to label him devil.
Well,
Man, Go ahead, Vex. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say if anyone wants to make a thumbnail, like if we're an analysis video on this movie, that scene with the shot, just like go back and only like three or four. Once more.
Right here.
This one is like your thumbnail right there for I Saw the Devil. If anyone wants to make a video, man. It's a nice shot.
That is a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, you're good. No need to apologize. No, the title, it comes from the Nietzsche quote, like, he who fights with monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. So there's no definitive answer to who is the devil. Everyone is the devil by the end of this film.
Well, excuse me. Somebody read through school.
I think it should just be, even with a terrible English translation like what I watch. You should see that, of course, he goes and does some things that are, outside of a lot of laws. And what the pleasure he starts feeling, later on, and what he's doing against the bad guy, that there's the answer. It's like, just a glimpse of what you could be.
It's interesting that you say pleasure, because there's never really an instance where I feel he's deriving any pleasure from this revenge plot.
No, because I don't. That is one thing I do appreciate about this movie, is that. Because one thing I think so often gets missed in revenge movies is that there's this constant tug of war between the person who wants to commit revenge, usually for their own satisfaction. And granted, some of those movies do that well. I think the Kill Bill movies are an example of a revenge movie for the sake of satisfaction, but a lot of them miss that part of the point of revenge isn't necessarily about self-satisfaction, or it's like part of it you could argue is justice, but part of it is just like, hey, it's just a reckoning. It's just it's like, this is what is coming to you, and
it's something that needs to be done, kind of deal, not something you want to necessarily do.
Yeah,
I would totally agree.
Yeah, if like one movie that I would cite that's a really good example of showing the negative side to just full-fledged revenge for the sake of kind of self-satisfaction is The Cost, which Lance has promoted several times. That movie actually presents that notion very, very well. Where like the guy that they've captured to kill and torture is telling them, this is not going to make things any better for you all. It's like you will really don't want to do this. And it's like, yes, some of that is self-preservation, but in a sense, he's very, very right.
Mm-hmm.
I like the close-ups they put onto the protagonist and the killer's faces to show their emotion. And this guy's just, you see like in the couple of scenes back, or he's just like, I just ready to go after this guy. And you see the anger and the pain, and then the killer's just got this like smile on his face and these dead eyes, like a
just look at each other. They're like, all right, choose your fighter, ready to go.
Yeah, and he's and so they have this like, and then this is like I gotta say, the action scenes are filmed pretty damn well. I mean,
they're filmed well, but I'm not gonna lie, it kind of jarred me a little bit that suddenly this went into martial arts, and I was like, what has happened? All this, because this movie up to this point has been very grounded. It's been very grounded. And this is a kind of a full-fledged like martial arts scene. I was like,
they are Asian, dude. I mean,
stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. I mean,
we're born in hospitals. They're born in dojos over there.
Yes.
We're giving rattles. They're giving nunchucks.
Choreographer actually said that it was the hardest thing to do, because he said that they had to be intellectual equals. However, the protagonist still had to outmatch him in terms of pure combat, just because he is a secret service dude. He's trained for it. Yeah, but he said that they had to be intellectual equals. So the choreography was incredibly hard for him to do, because he said, and I quote, it's like pitting a toddler against an adult sometimes. Like, you have to make it work. And so, you can see it, especially in the second hospital fight when he wants to wrap his head around, then he takes the knife and cuts it open. You're like, okay, these guys have some battle IQ. They've probably been both in situations where they have to fight, especially the killer, of course, because your victims would probably fight back sometimes. So I do. I'm very appreciative of not only the choreography but of the cinematography that follows it.
Look at that shot. Some of the shots in this movie are spectacular. Like
his determination for him, to survive and keep on doing what he does. I guess if you want to analyze, that kind of person a lot outweighs a whole lot of smarts in other people's area because it's pure freaking determination to keep itself alive and keep on doing bad things. Because that's just survival for it,
So, I mean, some of the stuff he does, like when he's bashing his head here against a rock, I mean, even at towards the end, the middle, which we'll get to, when he gets to the farmhouse, and he's just beating the shit out of him with like a fucking what was it, like a spear gun? It's like he's cracking his head open. You're like, okay, he'd probably be fucking dead, but it's a movie, so. But he wants to kill.
There's kind of a lot of injuries in this movie.
Yeah.
But even the very beginning when he's hitting the guy's wife, it's like you almost think she died there, and then you realize, oh, she survived.
She survived.
Okay, that's not utterly implausible, but it could happen, and there's a lot of injuries that you would think would kill the average person, but there's a heightened sense of reality with a lot of this.
So this is where he sticks the magical GPS microphone down his throat.
Yeah, and this is honestly, this is where I'm bothered by what he's doing, because I'm like, okay, I feel like you could accomplish a lot of what happens in this movie by the killer escaping rather than being let go, because the amount of collateral damage that our
a lot of
protagonist allows to happen. I mean, it's his fault. A lot of this crap is his fault, because he let this guy go because he wanted to hunt him, and I'm just like, that's a really odd thing to do. And I know you could argue, well, it's a form of mental torture and stuff. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this. That's just, I'm sorry, it makes you look really, really, really stupid.
My biggest issue with this isn't the fact that he does the catch and release. My biggest issue that even the killer points out is, why the fuck do you stay so far away from him at all times?
There's that too. It's like, if you're gonna do this, it's like you might want to do this very differently, because there's a lot of collateral damage.
I like how he calls him a psycho constantly. He's like, this guy's crazy. But yeah,
he says this about several people. Like that's kind of one of the interesting things about his psyche, is that he keeps running into all these other bizarre individuals. He's about to here in a second, and he's always like, you're a psycho. Oh, this guy's sick, and he's
this crazy bastard.
Yeah, and it's like so there's a part of you that could say, well, he's demeaning them, like, oh, these people are beneath me, or more, or what I interpreted as, he's like, these people are no better than I am.
Well, I forgot to mention that the protagonist breaks his wrist against a rock, and then he puts him in the hole. He wakes up with an envelope full of a shit ton of money, and that's kind of what makes him think, like, that's why he says that, like, this crazy bastard, like, what's going? He even laughs.
He's basically like, here's some money, go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I appreciate about the movie, is that it's the catch and release factor, but I do really
the way they
really
did it,
think that it's stupid that he stays like 3, even more than 10 kilometers away at all times. Like, dude, what do you mean?
Well, the whole process is why I call it pleasure, is because it's not like it's some sick, twisted, humorous pleasure. I think it's just like a cat, how they how they play with something, even though they intend on killing it, or it's already dead. It's barely escaping.
So,
you're kind of playing with this food a little bit.
I don't see this as him ever playing with the guy, because when he's at the at his wife's grave or whatever, and you hear in the voiceover in the background, like, I'm going to make sure whoever did this felt the same amount of pain you did. So I don't necessarily think that this is him getting any enjoyment out of it. It's that he wants to make sure that, because he knows his wife was absolutely butchered. Like, her last moments alive were terrible. Her goddamn head was in a river, for Christ's sake. Her ear was in a bag as well. So this is him kind of exacting the same amount of pain that she would have felt onto someone else. But I think that the satisfaction only goes so far as I'm doing my own form of justice for my fiance.
For you, yeah.
I agree with you that that's what the movie is presenting. It's just, I feel like because of the catch and release aspect of it, and how the movie even kind of says in some of the dialogue, he's kind of becoming the hunter and everything, and I'm like, I kind of feel like you're muddying the message a little bit of what you're trying to get through, because I do agree the movie wants you to think this isn't about him getting pleasure out of what he's doing. It's just, I feel like the the actions themselves sort of muddy that a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So this is where he finds this guy driving these two guys in a cab, and he catches that the guy's image who runs the cab. They always have to have their picture of who they are in life.
Yeah, it's not the same guy.
It's not the same guy, and he's like,
I love the cab driver, man. Because at the beginning, you would think that he's a normal cab driver. That's just run into the shitty situation.
Yeah.
Two serial killers with him. It's like,
that's why he starts laughing here because he sees this guy in the back, so he knows like something happened. Obviously, I love how. He's like talking to him, and his face just changes, and he's
literally like the stereotypical Asian face, dude.
And he's even telling him here, like the killer's like, "You're just unlucky," and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he's just like,
being unlucky. I'm like, that might be my favorite line in the movie.
Yeah,
that's a good.
It's so good. And this scene,
this killer's performance is pretty outstanding.
It's great. He stabs the driver in the neck, and I love like how the guy's still trying to drive the cab, and he keeps going stabbing him and the guy in the back, stabbing him and the guy in the back. It's
the only thing that like goes similar to this is the Clive the movie the
Children
one with
Children of Men.
Yeah, there it is.
Great
I was
movie,
like,
great
man,
movie,
Jesus
great
Christ, it just slipped out of my mind.
No, I know what exactly. I was gonna say it does feel that kind of like yeah. Children of Men's a great fucking movie, by the way.
Great movie,
yeah. Yeah, and then of course the protagonist is like, "Oh, I found him. He stopped. Let's go find him." It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, where are you?
A kilometer away, man.
You know what? Like that, because now that you mention it, because it is pretty silly that most of the time he is as far as he is. But I'm also just thinking, like, the police, your soon-to-be father-in-law, who's the chief of police, gave you these files with these guys in it, which means that the actual police are looking into this as well. So it would look really bad if someone that worked for the federal secret agency or whatever was out here hunting serial killers. So like there's a level of like plausible deniability that he can employ if he's that far away. You know what I mean?
Good point. I never thought of it that way, actually.
Like they don't explain it. I've never really thought about it, and it's never felt that it needed explanation. But now that you've made me think about it,
no, that kind of makes sense.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. This is another funny scene where the killer goes to the doctor and he like heals him up.
Footballer.
And I love how, like you said, and the doctor's kind of like, "Hey, who breaks their wrist?" And the guy gets pissed at him. Look at his face, dude. He's just got this dead face.
Which is so funny because it's like he wasn't even a soccer player. It's like everything he's saying in regard to that, it's like, dude, you're not what you're pretending to be right now. But it's just he's put off by the fact that this guy would think to question him. Yeah, it's like you're questioning me. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, watch the way you talk to people, and it's like, and the guy's like,
this is where he says, this is where he calls him son, and then he's like, yeah, you don't call everyone son. This is where you get the issues with. You can sort of see the issues with his dad.
Come here, you. And he's like trying to take his glasses off his head. And then the female the nurse walks in and he's like, "Oh, okay, I know what I'm going to be doing." But yeah, he threatens him. And, yeah, this part here, and he goes up to this girl. He's just he's like, "How old are you? Do you have a boyfriend?" And she's just
trying to look at her buttoned up cleavage. Dude, there's nothing to see, man. There's nothing to see.
Yeah.
It's so creepy how he goes about this because it's just like, you must have a ton of boyfriends. And she's like, no. He's like, oh, is it because you don't know how to do it? I was like, oh my God. Like, it just, everything about this guy is so predatory, like over the top almost. It's, and he manages to deliver it so like perfectly.
He does.
He's still very much in that headspace where he knows that the jig is almost up, so he's basically like, I'm going to just do what I feel like doing until they catch me. So that's why it's like this, like him just going all out and doing like all this stuff. It's like, I'm not necessarily bothered by that because he's just doing whatever he can get away with,
and he has the confidence to do so. You can tell, like in the actor, in the way that he moves, and even at the end when he steps out of the car covered in blood at the very, very end, like he steps out confidently. He's like, this dude. He's just saying, I'm going out like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, and this is where he tells her to take off her clothes, right?
Just strip.
And he's just like, he's like, he goes, it'll be easier if you just try to enjoy it because it's gonna happen. And I'm like, gosh, this guy is just
And she just feels helpless. He locks the door, so
She's
she
just
can't
frozen,
leave.
dude.
This is kind of why, like, honestly, this is kind of why some of those scenes, like the martial arts stuff, kind of take me out of it, because these scenes are so grounded and well constructed with like their dialogue and their acting. This all feels very real and gritty and terrifying. And so I'm like, can we get rid of the martial arts stuff? Because I think all this other stuff plays out really, really well. I mean, this is genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, and she's begging, and he gets mad, doesn't he? Like, yeah, he throws shit at her, and he's like breaking. She's like, "Come on, dude, I gotta get off here, bro."
This actress really, really sold it.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
and then our protagonist finally puts on the magical earbuds for the magical colon microphone.
What is that? What is that coming out of his butt? Oh my gosh, he's raping something.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I have to get in there, right?" And it actually goes like he pushes her down, and you can hear like oh god, dude, it's like, oh, you could hear her doing things to him. Let's put it that way. And
you know what?
Yeah.
Why the fuck wouldn't she just rip it off, man? That's something I always ask. Because if I was a dude, okay, in that guy's situation,
if you were a dude, yes,
yeah, I'm a cat. In that guy's situation, and you take a woman to forcefully do something, and it's like, wouldn't you think that she'd bite? I don't know,
right? Maybe she's just
like
at that point. You're just too afraid.
Yeah,
that's
I don't think it's one of those situations where I'm like, okay, it's an option, but putting yourself in the headspace of somebody who's actually going through that, that might not be your first thought. I mean, and you might think, if I do this, he might still kill me. It might like you're willing to, I guess, go to certain places that you wouldn't normally because you think you might make it out of it okay.
There we go. Yeah.
So he was in. So the protagonist is in Terminator Genesis, and then he was in the Magnificent.
Yeah, he was
Seven
the
oh, he was the. Yeah.
Was it Genesis or was it Dark Fate he was in? Is the
it's a movie nobody liked.
Was he in Dark Fate?
Nobody likes Dark Fate either.
Dark Fate was a Mexican dude.
Oh, okay.
I don't even fucking remember Dark Fate. I forget about that shit movie. Yeah, so they
couldn't spell Genesis right at all in that
movie. Yeah, and here he's just like, "Who are you? How the fuck you?" And then he's just, and then I like this where he grabs the scalpel, like the scalpel knife, whatever, and he's just squeezing it in his hand. And the guy's looking at him like, "Oh yeah, this guy's really fucking nuts."
I know this is where he finally realizes, "Oh my god, I know what I'm dealing with," kind of deal.
Yeah, like he realizes this is personal. It's like whoever this guy is, this is personal. I hurt somebody.
And I like how he wraps his hand while the fuck. It's like, it's. I like that little touches. I like that.
Yeah, he just grabs the Band-Aid at the same time. Just
I like that.
The dude is on the floor.
And he's hitting them with the chair, and he's like, "No, stay here. He needs to be treated." She's probably like, "What
poor
the
woman."
Fuck? Oh God. And what does he tell him here again? This is not like this is the what the hell does he tell him here?
This is just the beginning.
Just the beginning, yeah. Oh, this part, dude. Like oh my god.
He says don't get weak on me now. This is just the beginning.
And the way he tears right through the back, dude. Again one of those moments where I'm like,
can you play this? Like it's so good. Oh my god.
I don't know if you could play this.
Okay. Basically, he takes the scalpel and he slices right through this guy's Achilles.
And the actor sells.
I was gonna say his acting through this is
so
perfect.
Oh, because that's
like
how
you're like if you're asking this guy, it's like, okay, I want you to scream and like move around like you are feeling the worst pain imaginable. Holy crap, he sells it
plus,
well.
I love the fact that he's mumbling when he just does the incision, but once he starts to rip it, you can say, "Whoa!"
Yeah. It's rough.
Like I remember like the original Pet Cemetery. They have the Achilles slice, and that one's still pretty bad. This one trumps that one by a mile. This one trumps that by a mile.
Yeah. And then he leaves him in the car, right? And he gets out of the car, and he can't even walk. He's got his hands fucked, and this guy is like, he's not under, like you said, he knows this is personal now, so he's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's looking for a tracker. He's not that stupid. He knows like this guy obviously is tracking me somehow. Doesn't know it's in his ass, but
the only way
he doesn't realize he's been treated like Korean Christopher Walken.
Wow.
In his ass.
Yeah, and this is where he's driving and he's like, he's just calling him out because this is fucking great.
Drinking beer, driving.
Let's see who the bitch is here. Let's see who's the bitch. And he's like listening, like knowing he's probably listening. It's fucking great. what happens at this part? Oh, this is the part. Is this the part where he gets out of the car and he's like looking to hit something?
The military arrives.
Yeah, then all the military people. He's like, oh fuck.
This to me is a cop out, man. I feel like,
yeah,
this to me is frustrating because how the fuck did he get out of this situation? As if the military wouldn't investigate the dude.
He's got blood all over him,
man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And how can he even walk with the his Achilles slashed?
Well, he's been treated by the girl that she tried to grape.
Yeah, but come on,
like
dude.
the rest
No.
Yeah, it is a little. Yeah.
What's up?
He's limping through it. He didn't get treated after. Slice. I don't think that girl
would take major surgery.
Yeah, you gotta remember he was doing great before he got the Achilles slice. I don't think he went back and said, "Oh, by the way, could you stitch me up real quick?"
Yeah. Yeah, and this is like a
the introduction
of these cannibal people, and you see this guy burning like luggage and fucking passports and all this weird shit, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, first I'm watching this,
he knows a cannibal. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so well, we'll get to that part, but I didn't catch this the first time, and I think I got it. That wasn't their house, or was their house?
No, it's the other woman who's locked up in there.
Yeah, because she said you didn't want to let me in, so we just fucking came in, kind of thing.
Okay. World's worst squatters.
Yes.
The woman cannibal, though. Okay. I'd fall into that trap.
Do we know she's a cannibal?
I don't know. She's hanging out with a
Maybe
cannibal.
she likes meat, but not in the way you think. She wants that cat meat. Oh, anyway. But yeah, this is where the chief of police calls the protagonist. So doesn't he tell him here that they're putting two and two together, the cops? Or not yet? Like they kind of know they're looking for him too.
Yes, and again, this explains why he's keeping his distance the way he has. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to call. He wants him to.
So the chief knows. He's like, just stop, please. And then this is where your girlfriend, uninspired, gets on the phone.
Yeah, dude, she's cute as fuck too.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, it's true, man.
There you go.
No, she definitely is. She's a very pretty woman. Which the moment, because they didn't really develop this relationship, the moment they start putting her on this phone call, I'm like, oh, she's gonna die, isn't she? When they put her on, I was like, this girl's dead.
Yeah, she's trying to talk him down naturally because she cares. Like, she doesn't want him to get in trouble, but he's like, yeah, fuck off, I have to go. Kind of thing, like I have to do this. Yeah, it's a good moment. I like these little moments in the movie where they slow things down to kind of show you the little more character development for these guys.
Well, everyone's grieving, right? But it seems like he has completely detached himself from the situation, and nobody knows what's going on with him. And it's like a desperate plea to try and get.
Look how far away he is, man! 28 kilometers. What the fuck? Jesus Christ!
It's odd. This part, dude, knowing what this fucking guy's eating and he's talking while he's eating, and I was like, bro, this shit.
There she is. Look, a cute cannibal woman, dude. You can't tell me this she isn't cute.
I think she's just eating rice. So
she is just eating rice. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. Acceptable.
Yeah,
she's just eating rice. It's not weird.
Yeah, but what he's eating made me fucking sick. I was like, God,
you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Whatever he was eating, like the way he was eating it, I was like, man, I wish I could enjoy something like that.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, he looked like he was really enjoying his meal, and it made me wish that like I could eat something and be that happy eating something. You know what I mean?
I've had meals with Koreans before, and most of them don't enjoy their food that much. I mean, usually they're more eating like the girl is. It's like this guy's just horking that stuff down.
Yeah, and he's like, once you eat this, you'll never. Because doesn't he call him crazy or something here? And that's why.
Well, he knows that he's a cannibal.
Yeah,
and he's like, too much of that meat has gone to your head. Like, yeah, you've gone insane from eating human flesh, you crazy bastard. And then he looks at him. He's like, "What did you just say to me?"
I got the sense, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, I kind of got the sense that some of the body parts from his killings he might have just handed over to this guy, because I mean they clearly know each other. So I'm like, okay, so this maybe they're somewhat.
I thought that was like they're kind of like their relationship is like, hey, some of his kills he'll bring there, and then
he has a body part meat freezer. So
who doesn't? Come on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, how did he find the guy? Because it's not their house.
I think they just keep in contact. So these people must be like regulars that he interacts with. I'm sure this would have been explained in like some deleted or cut scene or whatever. But yeah, it seems like these are the only people that he can really trust that also know his true nature. Because remember, his family doesn't even know. His child doesn't know either. So
right.
I think he just needed, and he still doesn't realize that he's being tracked. So I think on top of this, like, oh, they're completely off the map. I can take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably met on some like Korean Reddit or something like that.
Well, you remember the German cannibal case online where it was like posting it was like that. There you go.
Yeah, he said, "Hey man, you want to get eaten? Yeah, sure. Why not? Fuck it."
So this is where they're trying to explain, because he's like, "Oh, you killed this guy's bitch, and he's coming out." And this is where he's like, he's enjoying the hunt to coming out. Oh wow. Yeah, and it's crazy. Well, uninspired, you see, he finally caught up to them after being 28 kilometers.
Yeah,
away
fucking finally, dude.
Yeah, see, saying stuff like, I think you're screwed this time. It's like, these guys know each other. It's like, these guys, like, I'm pretty sure he's probably dumped some body parts to him. Like, here, him. It's like, some of this stuff I actually want found, because that's pretty typical of killers, like leaving a little bit of a trail. They revel in that, but it's like, here, you can have some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, they can even make like an entire just DLC pack movie on these cannibal killers.
Dude, no shit.
Fuck it.
Oh, succulent Korean meal.
What is going on here? This thing is like retarded. Yeah, so he's like remembering all and so he's just kind of laying there. He wants to just kind of relax, and then
they also cut down this scene quite a bit. So there's a deleted scene of him when he's just in the couch chilling. He's just going through all of his memories and stuff like that. It's quite long actually that they deleted it. I was like, whoa, it's like 3 whole minutes of him just reflecting.
I don't think we need to just see 3 minutes of that. I mean, you got the gist
of that either.
You got the gist of he goes back and this quick little like montage in his brain of the worst shit that he's been through.
He goes into his meat locker and he says, "Oh, we're ran out of guts."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, so let me go get this girl that's hiding in a closet chained up, and let's go ahead and cut her." Oh god, dude. Yeah, this is where he's telling her, hey, you should have let us in, and now I have to eat you. But yeah, as this time the protagonist is trying to get into the house, and again, it leads up to this part that Gord was saying is very well done. It's very sinister, very dark. And then the action scene comes in. You're like, okay, like it's entertaining. I like the action scene a lot.
I don't think the action is like kung fu or anything like that. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it actually is a nice like balancing to all of the dark stuff that happens.
I think it's because of the way it's filmed.
It's very choreographed. It's very
maybe that's what it is. Because I like that it also showcases that
oh god, this is horrible.
What's his face? Like the protagonist is not just like some run of the mill dude or anything. Like he has been trained. There is a reason he feels there's a reason he goes on this quest for revenge, because he has the skill set to do it, Well,
right. I don't necessarily mind the protagonist having those skills, because he is an agent of sorts. It's pretty much everyone else he runs into. It's like they've got skills to matches, and I'm like, well, if they're not trained, he should dispose of them.
But like it shows very clearly that Jang doesn't have any skills. Like he just kind of like.
Well, I guess I'm saying is the fights are a little bit more prolonged, I guess, than they should be. If you're up against somebody who's that skilled, they're going to end you quickly.
I like how. Go ahead, Whitey. Sorry.
I just think I think this action scene is a lot more, a lot smoother than maybe the little grow house earlier. Yeah. So I appreciated this one.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not even necessarily calling the fight scenes necessarily flaws. It's just they jarred me a little bit, because I was like, oh, they're not as grounded as the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I like how he can't turn on the fucking CD. It takes him like a few minutes to figure out how to play it.
Yeah. I mean, if it's between Koreans doing like choreographed fights and Indians breaking out into song and dance, I'll take the Korean trope.
Listen, in Cobra Kai, every Korean's born to know karate. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. God, that fucking
it's in the blood,
Yeah, it's something in the blood.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's Chinese. There you go.
Wow.
Ding dong.
Thank you. So yeah,
I like that we didn't even hit on Japan, where karate comes from.
Oh shit.
Samurais, goddamn. Okay, now we're getting racist again. Yeah, so I like how he wakes up here. The killer wakes up and he kind of senses that something's wrong. it's kind of He's like, okay, something's happening here, and he's like he just has this vision of back in the doctor's office, and he's like, okay, I know this guy's here, but I love his faces when he's about to kill or attack because he's just like, look at the anger and
that sick bastard again. Like he's not even recognizing what
Right.
he's doing either.
Right.
Like this is how like everyone in this movie is basically the devil because they're aware of what they're doing, but they don't actually really recognize like fully what they're doing.
What they're doing. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
He'd be far more justified if he didn't keep letting him go and getting other people hurt. Then I'd be like, no, you're good. This guy deserves it. He's like, no, you let the girl get raped. You're putting people in danger here.
That looks like it hurts.
I love the added detail of the finger twitching.
Yeah. That was well done. Oh god, that's gotta hurt so much.
The
I like
way
how
he strings him up.
Yeah, I love how he digs the knife in so deep into the wood the guy can't like barely get it out. But yeah, he's like, see, there's again, you psychos, you sick psycho. It's like just back and forth with the.
To be fair, in this case, it is justified. He's
yeah,
100%.
You know who this lady kind of looks like to me? She reminds me of that girl in Beetlejuice, the one who's only in the dinner scene and who's kind of mouthy with Otho a little bit. She kind of reminds me of her.
Are you saying all Asians look alike?
Yes. No, but she got a Yoko Ono kind of face, kind of like a pumpkin head, Chinese pumpkin head. Yeah.
Chinese pumpkin head.
Yeah, I mean, look at that dome, dude. That thing just juts forward like crazy. Look at it. It's coming at you. 3D.
I actually but I like what they do with her because, when you really up to this point, she's kind of a wild card. You really don't know what you're getting out of her. You're like, is she kind of a prisoner? Is she a willful participant? Because, they make sure they show she's not eating people. She's eating that samurai. She's not.
She's even weary when Jang calls him like psycho. Like she's on it, right? So yeah, you're right. You got it.
Yeah, you got it. What's up, Bloss? Welcome to the show, buddy.
Yo,
you sure appreciate this
movie. The vampire.
Yeah, I like how the killer finds the shotgun and he just starts blasting. And then, of course, Jim, the protagonist gets away. This part was cracking me up. And I love how the top of the fucking knife comes off. And he's just like, he can't get it. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Dude, just was like, shit.
Yeah, come on. Oh God, nothing says.
But even this guy, I'm just like, I'm wanting to protect. I'm like, can this protagonist please kill some of these people?
Yeah,
it's like, look, this. Granted, I think he probably has deduced that this guy might have eaten parts of his wife. I would not be surprised at this point if he's kind of deduced that. But I'm like, well, you still probably should just go ahead and kill him, right? I mean, granted, he gets a little bit distracted, but I'm like, you don't have time to torture everybody.
Yeah,
I love how the sequence actually feels like a proper home invasion sequence, especially the way that the killer is dressed with the shotgun. They're all kind of how would I say this? He's taken a shower, so he's nice and slick now. And then you have the protagonist that's actually sweating because this motherfucker is like, he knows that he's kind of outmatched because you're basically versus a huge shotgun and two cannibals, one of which is like a crazy bitch. So
she's like, this is where the girl cuts him, right? With the
knife. Though honestly, maybe part of what he's in. Granted, the film doesn't spell this out like through any dialogue or anything, and I'm not necessarily saying it has to, but. Maybe part of what he's doing here is he's making sure he doesn't kill anyone. It's because at this point he hasn't killed a single person. It's just like, I'm going to make sure you hurt really, really bad. It's really not until the end that his actions directly lead to somebody dying, I guess. So
so he knocks out the girl. He beats the shit out of the other cannibal guy, right? And then knocks him out, or does he actually kill him? I don't remember. No, you said he didn't kill
knocks him out.
He knocks him out. He beats the shit out of him. Yeah, and then he puts the fish hooks on the floor, so when the guy, the killer walks up, he steps on them and loses his balance. And then this is where he goes nuts on him. Like he just lets out all his rage, and he has like a weapon on him, like I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck it was.
Something like fishing rod or spear,
like a harpoon or something.
Yeah, and look at him, he's just beating the shit, and his head's busted and he's bleeding, and he's like, why? He keeps screaming like, why did you do it? And he let all out his rage there. And look at his face here. You think like Yeah, he's still not done, but he's like, you think he got a lot of his anger out in his hurt.
It's like, I can't let it end here.
Smiles.
Yeah, exactly. Like I still have.
He never really smiles either, man. Even when he gets what he wants at the end, he basically just cries.
Crying.
That's what I mean. Like there's no pleasure he gets out of this whatsoever. Like this is pure animal instinct that's driving him at this point, and again to avenge his wife. That's it.
Yep. Yep. This is
like part of me wonders, and I'm not trying to give the ending away necessarily for anyone in the chat or whatever, or jump ahead, but it's like part of me wonders if his intention was ever to actually kill him, if he just really wanted to maybe just maim him before having him locked away to the point where he would have a horrible, torturous life. And part of that release at the end is the fact that it's like, oh, okay, it's over now. But
I think the plan
he's hollow at this point.
Sorry.
No,
I think the plan was always to kill him. It's just the way that it ends up going down wasn't part of the plan.
So this inspector knows at this point, right? He's like, it's what I forgot the fucking guy. It's the protagonist. He's like that. It's him doing this, right? Isn't that what he tells him here? And he's like, he can't become a monster. That's a tagline for the movie right there. Can't become a monster to fight the monster. Yeah, and
there's the Nietzsche quote, man. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is where his buddy.
Why do I keep running into movies with Nietzschean themes? It's like the second movie in a row that I've had. I watch a row.
Right popular. Nietzsche was a depressed motherfucker, man. That's why.
Yeah, this is where his work partner, his buddy, gives him the GPS. Magic GPS is like, hey, you were out for a couple of days. The guy
patches him up. He patches him up in secret. That's why they see each other. And like Jang is over there. He's also still knocked out, or at least they think he is. And the guy's just like, hey, is that tracker still in him? Unless he has diarrhea. And the dude's like, chill.
Shut up.
What are you? Yeah, he's right there. What if something happens? Kind of deal, right? But this is now how Jang figures out how Soo-hyun has been tracking him.
Yeah.
This part, by the way, when we get to this part, so he wakes up in this alley gutter way, and he starts talking to him, right? Doesn't he start screaming at him?
Yeah, because he realizes now how he's being tracked, so he starts just like talking out loud. Yeah.
Oh god, what he does to get this thing, like they show it. It just wasn't pleasant. It was not pleasant. Oh, I didn't think.
I'm not gonna lie. That's the most solid diarrhea I think I've ever seen.
For real, dude. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's probably the best movie shit I've seen.
Right? It does look
on the run with the runs.
Yeah. So he goes to this farm. He asked this guy for painkillers or some kind of.
Yeah, he asked him for something with dexibuprofen in it. The pharmacist is like, what the fuck is that? It's like, dude, you're a pharmacist. You're supposed to know this shit. The way he looks at it, was like, what? Just give me your strongest painkiller.
Yeah. And he realizes he's been made. Like he knows that he's being tracked. And this is where I like when he goes into the farm. He just starts throwing shit around.
And he gets like the pharmacist would think that he's a crazy dude because just speaking out loud is like, I killed her. She told me that she was pregnant before she died. So this is where he actually learns.
That's where he gets this face here because he says that to him. Oh, could you imagine hearing that? Jesus. Yeah. Then he eats a bunch of laxatives. Oh god, dude. I didn't expect it.
He said it. You should keep close range when hunting me.
Yeah. Yep. And he's right. And then he obviously tries to kill the pharmacist, and he tries to save him when he catches up to him. And then this part, come on, dude.
There it is.
No. I can handle anything but that. That's fucking no. Nope.
It's just like how he doesn't even flinch though, going through it. On top of that,
look at that.
Again, shows you the extent of this man's depravity.
Jesus Christ.
He don't flinch. He clinch.
I love you, Vex. And I like how he catches this guy in the stall. He just beats the living shit out of him,
beats him with a broom, I think.
Yeah, he does.
God, this guy. And then he takes it's a cab, right? Isn't it a cab, a taxi?
No, it's a police car.
Oh, that's right.
That's a cop that he just beat up, man.
That's right. Sorry. So I'm fucking autistic. I don't know.
But, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, I agree.
So he hasn't caught on yet that the dude knows, and this is where he figures like, oh shit, he got the tracker out. And so now he doesn't know what this guy's gonna do or where he's gonna go. So he finally, I think it's right after this scene, he goes and talks to the police chief, and he's like, "Listen, bro." Oh no, not yet. Sorry, not yet. He goes and talks to the cannibals. Sorry.
He says that exactly. Listen, bro.
Listen, bro. He puts his arm on his shoulder.
Yeah,
like,
listen.
Yeah, sorry. Before he goes to talk to the police chief, he goes and talks to the cannibals because they're in the hospital. He's like, "Hey, like, where would I be able to find your friend?" Kind of deal.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
And they don't tell him much. So in the meantime, he calls the inspector and he's like, "Listen, I kind of like fucked up. Here's what I've been doing.
I'm gonna give myself up.
Yeah. No. Soo-hyun was like,
oh,
that.
Soo-hyun. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the part.
And yeah.
Oh.
Here's where it goes. Into, oh god, this was great too.
Dude, what he does to him, and because the guy's laughing, and you think he's like,
he's like, you've underestimated him. You don't know who you're dealing with. Like, he's not just going to get like now that he knows like who you are and like why you're after him. He's gonna go after her family, like your girl's family, and he's gonna make sure you suffer, kind of deal. And then, as the ultimate revenge, he's gonna give himself up to the cops, so you can't get anything you want. So he gets pissed off. He's like, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
No, go ahead. You keep finish your point.
Okay. And he's just saying like, yeah, your wife was likely raped by him before she died. But on like, he gets so pissed off. He's like, "You think this is funny? I'm gonna make sure you laugh forever." And he just starts tearing his jaw open.
But this is, I think that's a good bit of dark mirroring there because it's him. It's the thing that specifically sets him off is the laughing. Which kind of in a way mirrors the type of thing that sets off the killer is the way people look at him, the way people talk down to him and stuff. It's like, so usually these little things that set these people off. So that's a nice little bit of dark mirroring there. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this is where the police chief calls, or he finds out that, is he talking to the police chief here? Or he finds out where he's going, and so that's why he turns around and tries to go back to the police chief's house.
And he's still too far, which we
motherfucker's always far from everybody. But
probably 100 kilometers away.
This part is like typical like movie shit, which it's done well though. Like he hears the phone ring, he's walking up the stairs, getting close, and then the guy, the killer, is knocking like, "Hey, I have a package." It's like,
weirdly enough, wouldn't the police chief have, I guess, police cars parked in front just in case?
Well, the weirder part is that he gave the picture to Soo-hyun and he doesn't recognize the guy that comes to his door.
Yeah. Oh, it's a problem. It's a problem.
That's a bad. Oh wow, yeah.
Like you can say, "Oh, he's old," but it's like, no, you looked at the picture though.
You
bro.
know who this guy should be.
Yeah.
Doesn't he also have blood on him?
He does.
He always has blood on him.
Yeah, he has the pharmacist.
Yeah, if anything, the way I kind of felt like and again, this is one of those things that would not be that difficult to fix. You probably should not have had the girl walking in on it. You should have had her let him in. It's like that would have made more sense.
Exactly. And she doesn't know anything.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I think the girl's death is not handled very well. It's kind of done in a flash, like them saying, "Oh yeah, she's dead." By the way, it's like, "Oh okay, yeah." It's like I thought that was kind of disappointing. And when I, going back through the scene, I was like, you should have had her answer. You should have created a whole scene of him with the father and the daughter and made it more tense. And then when they arrive, it's like, oh, he killed them both.
The only thing you could say is that he can't see him through the gate. So as soon as he opens the gate, the guy just fucking attacks him. Like, what can you really do?
But the gate has like bars. He can look.
Yeah,
through
I know.
I feel like it's like he should have recognized.
Just to add on to what. Oh my god, I don't even remember what you said. I'm sorry, Gord.
Jeez, how high?
Oh no, I was just saying. I feel like you could have. You could have had her answer. You could have built a whole scene out of him, like.
The daughter. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Jang attacks the father, right? Beats him in the head with a dumbbell, essentially, and he learns that there's another daughter that lives with you, sort of deal, because he finds the photo. So as the other daughter comes, you can fast forward a bit because
I don't want to watch this. But like, what's even crazier is that he's just casually walking through his house, wearing his clothes, drinking. Like looking at his it's fucking creepy, dude.
It is, yeah. So he waits for the daughter, but even though he kills her, I'm actually fine that they show it in a little bit of just like a flash there. It's what like that's a thing like American cinema does is like it has to show everything. I'm fine that they didn't show
because they show like
she ended up dying.
It's like a quick shadow.
I guess more my issue was the reveal of her death. It's such a quick flash. It's like, oh, she's dead. It's like, oh, wow.
No, because Vex is right. This scene here, when she's like looking through the doorway, you just see this black, like this dark figure just kind of attack her, and it's
like
really
you don't actually have to necessarily show him kill her. It's just like the reveal, the specific reveal that she's dead is really fast, and it's like, oh, okay, she's dead.
I was totally okay with that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I get where you're coming from, but like, I had no, because we've seen him be so brutal for the entire movie, and at this point in the film, it's not to see how much more ruthless he can get, but rather how he's
a killer.
He's an equal adversary now to our protagonist, sort of deal. So, like, seeing him murder another person or getting like a deeper reveal about how the daughter dies, it's not necessary to help that come through. That's just how I see it.
I like this when the police are trying to push him back. The protagonist, he's just like breaking their hands and just like, nah, I'm good, bro. And they can't stop him. And they finally like have enough people to kind of. And I like
this is just to say how far he was, dude. Police had time to come set up a crime scene and take care of the dude. Come on.
I like how the inspector punched him in the face. He's like, "You piece of shit, you did that," because it's anger. Yeah, it's his friend,
and he's totally right.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I love how they don't show the protagonist's face when he arrives. So and especially the way that the inspector he goes there, he punches him, and after he just says move aside because he knows that the dude has already suffered enough. And so to add on to him the fact that this is your fault, that your father-in-law's in this situation, your sister-in-law has been kidnapped by the same dude that killed your wife. You can tell that the police chief is still human. He's just there like, I don't want to add this to you. I know that you already understand the consequences of your actions. Let me just get my anger out, and then.
And this is the point where the protagonist is like, "Okay, this has to end now. Like this is I've let this. Obviously, look at the much damage he's got. Like to Gord's point, I'm gonna stop being stupid now and just kill this guy because I can't let this keep continuing. Like, there's nothing else he can and he's gonna turn himself in. He knows that, right? So he's like, no, I have to finally end this." And it's I'm surprised that the father-in-law lived through all that. God, he was getting his ass hit.
What a way
to show you the sexes are not equal.
Yeah. But I'm like I think their moment between each other. Part of what's interesting subtextually about that is the fact that it's like the father kind of shares in the blame of the other daughter getting captured. It's like
good point.
It's kind of like. We did this.
You have to live with this now too, kind of deal. Like that is unfortunately your fate.
It's like the death you were sorry for isn't the one that's your fault.
I do like this scene here where the killer's like talking to him, like, so how does it feel to kind of be on the other side? Did you think you won? You didn't, and it's just so vindictive and just psychotic. It's like. And I like how he's driving through and he's just ramming into cars trying to get to this guy. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Because he knows that he's about to turn himself in. He called the police. He's about to arrive. So I love the shot when he just first steps out of the car, man. The blood all over
everywhere.
His feet. You just know.
Now let me ask the people, whoever wants to chime in. How do we feel about the scene of him capturing him in the car? Like it looks nice.
Awesome.
That part was pretty freaking cool. I was actually
Secret Service.
I was cool with that.
Right? I was like, I didn't expect him to do. I thought he was just gonna grab, like, I don't know, get out, get him in the. But like the way he does it, very good sequencing here. It looks great.
And it's not. It's actually not overly stylized. It's like, okay, he makes sure he knocks the door off. He gets beside him, and then he pulls him in. It's like, okay, so that actually is done fairly practically. It's like that.
He doesn't get him in right away.
How you do it?
He's kind of struggling getting him in because he's moving still. Like it's a little like kind of it's good. It's really well done. Really well done.
And then now they're driving out of the city to some intense music.
Yeah. How'd that music go, Vex? Exactly. Do you remember?
Oh,
that's fucking beautiful.
Something like that. You're welcome.
It almost sounded like a more like chipper Game of Thrones thing.
Anyway, Yeah, so
Is
he's
this the
smoking
first time we see our protagonist smoking a cig?
cigarette.
No,
Yeah.
no. This
Oh,
is
it's
the
like-
second or third time.
When does
Really?
he smoke it earlier? I don't remember.
So he smokes outside of Jang's parents' house when he meets the son.
Oh, that's right.
And then he has a cigarette, like it was like before. It's somewhere around the funeral scene. He has one as well.
Okay, good call.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where he's basically telling the killer, like, I underestimated you. Well, you let him fucking live. But, you know, hey. But in general, he's trying to, like, instill this fear in him. And it's like, and it's crazy, like, because the guy's like, just kill me, please. And you don't, oh, dude, when he puts the fucking pin through, oh my God. And it's funny because the guy breaks down. You think the killer's breaking down, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I know I'm a bad. And then he like just looks up at him like, go fuck yourself, bro. I don't care. You know, he played, but you like for a second, did you really think he was really sorry for what?
No,
he did?
I was like,
he's insane.
He's screwing with him. It's like, okay, he's screwing with him.
Great acting though. Like it's really well done.
Oh, this performance, like this is one of those performances where you're like, the Academy doesn't pay attention to foreign cinema because it's awesome. Yeah. This is genuinely Oscar worthy. Like even if someone were to come along and, you know, take some of the issues I had with it and run away with it and say this is a bad movie, you would still say this performance is Oscar worthy regardless.
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
I love how the cinematography just complements the intimacy of the scene, because now it's just close-up shots of both of their faces. That's it.
Yep.
It's
100%.
1-1-1. And that's it. You only get the wide shot to show you that he's attached to the guillotine. That's it.
And so he's trying to play it off like he's really sorry, he wants to live, and the guy, I don't even know if he's really buying it. He's just like, but he pulls his face back up, and he's like,
well, he does ultimately start to maybe buy it because he asks him,
are you afraid?
He's like, do you realize what you did was wrong? Like he's almost giving him that little bit of a, you know, olive branch. Like, do you know this is wrong? Like he's questioning. Yeah. He's like, quit BSing. Just
and look, he's even here. He's like, you know, did you think you got the best? Like he's just like, I don't know. I'm never afraid. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of saw this entire interaction as Jang kind of testing him, like, are you the same thing as me kind of deal? Are you the monster that I am, or are you something else? Because remember, his friend was like, oh, haha, how funny is it that you created a monster of your own? So there's never an instance where I actually really bought until he catches on to the revenge plot that he felt sorry for anything that he was doing. Like, he knew he was going to die. Like, it was over for him. But he needs to have the last laugh.
Good point.
And he didn't, which is just so satisfying, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Him walking away here and putting on the headphones. Now, so did he?
His manner of revenge, like, because this is where he does ultimately have to raise the level of how he punishes him. He's like,
he brings his family there.
He brings the family, and I'm like, because that was part of what I was wondering. It's like, okay, we know that this guy is not, you're not going to be able to beat him through fear of death or even torture. We've kind of established that up to this point. What is he ultimately going to do? And then he brings the family, and I'm like, you got to, it's like you started to get to his level.
It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. And they're calling out to him, and he's just like, because he's like, I'm not scared until he hears the family trying to get in.
For dear viewer that's unsure of what's going on here. So essentially, after the conversation, he's got Jang tied up under a guillotine.
Guillotine.
Thank you. And he's got a rope in his mouth that is attached to the door handle. So he calls the family over because the insurance policy or whatever, they finally know where he is on top of that. And so if they open the door that this rope is attached to, then he gets his head chopped off. So he see, like, they come in and they hear him screaming and all of this stuff inside, and they try opening the door, and he's just like, oh my God, mom, son, like, what are you? He's like, please don't open.
Keep in mind, they haven't seen him in a while too.
Yes. Yes.
They don't know what he is. They don't know what he is. So
they're determined to get that door open. I'll tell you them. Yeah. So it's the door stuck. Dude, it's. Yeah, and then right when they pull the door open, you just boom. And
the decapitation is pretty cool.
It's pretty dang good.
And then the mom really and they're like, "What's going on?" The son's like, "Oh, fuck you, dad." No. And then this is where he takes the headphones back off, and you're right. Like he's there's a means to an end finally, but he's probably not satisfied necessarily because he still has to go back to his life now. His wife's dead.
Well, he's probably going to go to prison.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen to him, but this is, yeah. Then
he gets to become Liam Neeson's character in Taken. He has a specific set of skills. That's his purpose now.
Yeah,
this is painful though. I remember crying watching him cry the first time I watched this movie because it's really the only we see him have tears at other parts of the movies, but this is really the only instance where he actually emotes fully.
Yeah.
Because he's fairly reserved even when he's talking with his wife, and he does that little bit where he sings, but he has to kind of hide it. And then from there, it's just he's a shell. I mean, he's just this horrible hollow shell. The moment he learns that,
look at those teeth.
And what ultimately what he had to do was, to get even with this guy, as close to
became something he didn't want to
become. He had to hurt people directly that probably didn't deserve it, but that's what hurts the killer. It's like it's his family having to walk in and see that obviously hurts the killer as much as it can, but he's hurting people that didn't deserve it at the same time.
Right. Well, this is why he has also become the devil, because a good person wouldn't do that whatsoever.
Well, I saw the devil again. Nothing that would have been on my radar in the past, but the beauty of doing these content creator shows, you learn stuff. Okay, you learn stuff from other people. I'm very good movie. I like it. Whatever issues where we all have, we could discuss later. But I think it's trivia time. How much trivia is there for this movie? Anyway,
there's not a lot of trivia, but there's a bit. There's just a wee bit. We'll go through this really quick. So this came out on August 11th, 2010 in South Korea. It got a US and UK release in March 2011. Overall, it pulled in almost $13 million on a budget of, I think it was, hold on, I have it written down, on a budget of $6 million. So nice. for an unknown film, that's pretty good. It didn't get a big release, right? And even the US release, it was very staggered and it didn't come to a lot of theaters. So
I gotcha.
So as I stated previously, the Korean Media Rating Board forced Kim Jee-woon to recut the film for its theatrical release, objecting to its violent content. Otherwise, the film would have gotten a restricted rating, preventing any sort of release in theaters or even on home video.
Wow.
Yikes. Even on home video.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Lee Byung-hun, the protagonist, he said in an interview that it was the first time a film that he had starred in got restricted by the South Korean censor board. This made him want to see the film even more, the final cut. The second time it got restricted, he was worried that the film wouldn't screen at all. He admitted that he agreed that he was worried fans wouldn't be able to see it at one point.
Interesting.
Hi.
Oh.
Sorry, did you hear that?
I did hear that. I was
okay.
You spoke into your microphone. You said hi.
No, the cat meow. That's all.
It's one of your species uninspired bothering her.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Director Kim Jee-woon revealed how some Indian producers were interested in the film's remake rights. Since the agreement failed at the negotiation table, he laughed when they made it anyway. That film was 2014's The Villain, and it had a sequel as well.
I'd never even heard of that movie.
I've heard of Villains, but I've never heard of The Villain.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised they haven't made a version of this. What's the movie we just saw? The horror movie you just saw this summer that was terrible. We did it on MMM a couple of weeks
before. Speak
No
Evil?
Yeah, I'm surprised. If they remake that, how come they haven't tried to remake this movie here?
This is a tough one. This would be a tough one to.
Well, it would be shit.
Granted, because you could do a terrible version of this.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what they would do in Hollywood. I'm just kind of shocked. I'm just surprised.
You would actually need a comp like David Fincher. Someone like him could do this movie justice. Very few others.
I don't even think Fincher could do this justice. If I'm on, because I'm just thinking of his remake of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think that's a competent film if you haven't seen the original. But if you've seen the original, the film is very watered down, in my opinion, at least. Okay. So there's also I feel like there's some cultural things in here that wouldn't translate well to a Western remake on top of that. And then they just like they play up like the killing aspects. They
Yeah,
play
the
up,
violence would just be played up to the
Hey.
point where it's laughable.
Maybe Damian Leone could take it on.
Oh,
Hell no, dude. Hell
He
no.
would.
Oh no.
Hell
Hold
no,
on,
brother.
hold on. He's cooking. Hold on.
Hell no, man.
Hey, you basically, I mean, you more or less kind of try to follow the story. He ain't gonna be shy about the violence. So I mean,
You
get the right
probably
actors.
just see Art the Clown pop out halfway through the movie. It's just he'd be like, yeah, this is a surprise.
I don't know that he'd do that.
Well, Sienna's in the movie. Gordo.
I'm also just thinking
Yes.
like a lot
Yes.
of the things that they do, like how far they push the envelope in this
Good point.
film. No one in American cinema would want to try and do that,
take
and it
that
would
on.
take away from a lot of the themes. And
What
the
if you
art.
did it as like a stream, like one of? Nah, I guess it would be worse. Like I was
Nah,
gonna say, like, not. I was just curious. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it would work, but thank goodness.
Actually,
Yeah.
I would be a little scared of Leon taking on just for the fact that okay, if you're gonna follow the plot where it's like the wife gets killed, he might actually cast the girl who plays Sierra and then kill her. It's like no, don't do that.
Not her.
No.
Sorry, Vex. Go ahead. Continue.
No, you're good. All right, so let's see. The international cut did away with a lot of the sequences the director regarded as unnecessary and added all the scenes banned by the Korean censor board. Yet it's the Korean cut which runs longer than the international one. I've never seen the Korean cut. Is that on the DVD?
I watched the Korean cut, 2 hours 28 minutes.
So it's an extra.
Oh, it's not even that much longer.
Well, it's like 30 minutes longer.
No, this is 224,
No,
isn't it?
This is 220.
The tube. I know on Tubi it's 220.
It's 220.
Yeah.
No, maybe 228. Yeah, that's
Learn
pretty
math
much it.
on Inspired.
I mean, 8 minutes. 8 minutes.
minutes,
If he had to cut 8 minutes because it would increase the rating, then there's probably you can do a lot in 8 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Especially the torture scenes. You could do a lot in 8 minutes.
Mhm.
I found the Korean cut.
That's what she said.
Fucking white bear.
Let's go through. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger was so. Oh,
Gonna echo.
who am I echoing off of?
I don't know.
Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger was so impressed with this film, he later worked with the director on his movie The Last Stand in 2013.
Wait, he made The Last 10?
I guess so, yeah.
Or worked with him, maybe. I'm gonna look that up.
Cool.
I'm gonna look
I
it
like
up.
The Last Stand, man. I think it's a fun movie with Johnny Knoxville.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, what? Really?
He did direct it. Wow. He directed that. Holy crap.
If I have seen it, I don't remember it.
Dude, it's a Arnold Schwarzenegger. He plays a sheriff in a small town, and there's this like villain. It's really entertaining. Just fucking watch it.
Oh, you know what?
It's a-
I have Johnny Knoxville's in this, so I have seen this. I
Yeah.
just don't remember it.
It's another movie The Rock could have been in, and it would have been like all the same role.
This movie marked Choi Min-sik's first major acting role since his self-imposed exile over his protest of the Korean screen quota system.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah. This movie took him back into acting. I think he was out of acting for like 3 or 4 years before he got this role.
What a
Dang.
comeback!
Yeah, the quota was
gosh.
like, so it's like when films, if I remember this correctly, like when films premiere at like a film festival or something in Korea, like there's a specific number of days they're supposed to stay like in theaters and on the release track to like bit
Interesting.
profitable or something like that, and they wanted to make that shorter and then give international markets more rights, and it would have
Gotcha.
killed a lot of the spread a movie would have got. So he was upset about that.
Damn
Yeah.
right, dude. Korean cinema is far superior.
Yeah. During the shoot, Choi Min-sik, who is Jang, the serial killer, by the way, was so into character that he got the idea of beating up a random stranger who talked rudely to him in an elevator, only to realize he's turned violent during the shoot and eventually freaking out over that. Following the film's
What the fuck
release,
is wrong with this dude?
following the film's release, he met a girl in the elevator who freaked out and panicked seeing him, having watched the film. To calm her down, he said, quote, "I don't kill people anymore, so you don't need to be worried about me."
That's fucking funny. I don't care
That'll
who you
calm
are.
her. That'll calm her down.
Yeah. That is good.
Dude probably had the biggest chuckle when she left the
Dude.
elevator.
I would laugh my ass off.
Yeah, he was proud of himself.
This movie and The Chaser in 2008, which is also a great Korean film, highly recommend that, are loosely based on murder events committed by serial killer Jang-Kyung-chul, surnamed the Raincoat Killer, from 2003 to 2004.
Dude, stop giving serial killers cool ass fucking nicknames, dude. We need to stop doing this. The Raincoat Killer. Jesus, man, that sounds cool as fuck. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm really just
to the victim.
picturing. I'm picturing Korean Paddington right now. It doesn't sound that
Oh my god, that's funny. That's good.
Sorry.
I like that. No,
Dude,
good.
Raincoat Killer, Night Stalker, the Beast. It's like, man.
Night Stalker's cool. Yeah, the Beast.
Yeah,
the Monster of Florence is another one that's cool.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Jack the Ripper.
Ripper.
Cool as fuck. Oh.
Well, that one needed to be cool because who would
Zodiac
want to
Killer just cut out the middleman and named himself.
Yeah.
There we go. And last bit of trivia regarding the sex scene between Kyung-chul or Jang and Soo-hyun being deleted from the international cut. Kim Jee-woon said in an interview that it had to do with the running time and was also not quite fitting in terms of timing. He intended to show Jang's ruthlessness through sadistic sex, but Si-jung came off as being more aggressive and stood out more than him at the moment. Since the explanation on the two's relationship was left out when Kim was editing the film, he heard it seemed closer to adultery with consent rather than grape, as it didn't make sense that a woman being graped could be enjoying herself like that. But he couldn't go back to adding the explanation, so he wanted to rid the film of the unnecessary misunderstanding by cutting the scene altogether. So it looks like his fiance was gonna enjoy getting raped.
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked
That
very
wouldn't
well
have
for the
worked.
movie.
No, that
I
would've
think
been
that would have been maybe a little bit much.
This is the best AAA I've ever had. So
Well, hang on. I don't know. Is that actually the fiance? Because I'm looking at the picture. of that
I'm
character.
sorry.
That's actually, I think, the woman who's locked up in the.
A nurse.
Well, no, the girl who's locked up in the house.
Oh,
The
chain
girl
girl.
that's locked up in the house.
Chain girl?
Yeah, the one like the house where the cannibal is, the girl they bring out to kill who he
The house
saved.
owner.
I think that's her actually.
No shit.
up Asians again.
Hold on, let
They
me
all
look.
look the same.
Sorry, hold on.
Even if you put the pics side by side, you won't be able to tell the difference, man.
Yeah, I can share my screen. I've got it.
See.
I like how I commented something. In
Oh
my own
yeah,
chat.
it is the cannibal girl. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't have made. Because yeah, he eyes her at the dinner table, right? So I thought that there was some sexual chemistry there, but yeah, no, it wouldn't have made sense for them to have a sex.
Well, no,
scene.
I was actually saying it's not her. It's the one that's actually tied up. She, the one who, like he
the
says,
one that they want to, kill.
the sister of the one they already killed.
Oh, the one.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
That doesn't make sense at all. Then
Listen.
I don't get that one.
Thank God he removed.
Well,
it from
I mean,
the
it
movie.
would. I mean, I would understand. I guess like there being like he'd be like, hey, I've got this girl tied up. Blah blah blah. We're gonna bring her
It's
out
true,
and have your
Zax.
way with her. But yeah, it'd be pretty messed up.
Women are strange,
Yeah.
Zax. Women are strange.
It
Was
would be
that
it would be pretty gratuitous because she's not
Yeah.
otherwise a character.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that was all the trivia there, my friend?
That was all the
That was a-
trivia.
that
Yeah,
was a
there
decent
wasn't a whole lot.
That's a
Yeah.
good amount. That was interesting. All right, let's get our final thoughts on the movie, Mr. Catboy. You French bastard. Final thoughts. Final thoughts on the movie and a rating. Sir.
No, dude, I love this movie. I think it's one of those movies. It's one of those rare films where you can watch it once and you remember almost everything about it. It's weird. It sticks with you. And so there's not too many films where I've had that experience, and especially watching this one out of the blue for the first time. I think in around 2014. So yeah,
Dang.
I heard someone say, "Hey, watch I Saw the Devil." I said, "Yeah, okay. Well, what's it about?" They said, "Don't look it up, just watch it." And so I went in completely blind, and I loved this. I made my father watch it. I made my sister watch it. They hated me for it, but they loved me for it too. But yeah, I think it's really good despite its flaws.
Mhm.
It's so entertaining, especially for a 2-hour runtime.
Good point.
It's something that I think is fantastic. I think the acting is phenomenal. Everyone was in their A game, and I guess moral of the story is don't go to Korea, man. There are
Yeah,
probably
fuck
serial
that.
killers in every street. It's crazy. And my rating will be, I guess, 9 out of 10 severed ears. That would be it.
Ooh, I like it. All right, Vex. This is one of your favorite movies. Tell us your thoughts.
Sorry.
Fuck you, Cannoli. I'm tired.
My bad. Sorry. Okay.
No,
this is one of my favorite movies. I think I showed this to my mom, and my mom even said, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" So I understand.
We're still trying to figure that out. So.
Oh yeah, that too.
The amount of weird ass movies that I make my parents watch, my dad probably thinks I'm a serial killer or some shit.
Bruh, I just learned not to show them this shit now anymore.
I mean, uninspired. You did go off a bit of a tangent on talking about how you like hide bodies.
Well, yeah, man,
blood
it is hard to
like
clean
that.
up blood. Blood doesn't really wash away. It spreads, even if you just.
What are you doing at night? Never mind. We won't go there.
Dude, I wanted to be a mortician at one point, so okay.
It makes
I
total
know this
sense.
shit.
With your movie picks, that makes total sense. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm curious about Kerr's activities as well. It would explain why he disappeared from YouTube, maybe.
I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to
gotta
see
hide.
I want to see the Tur biopic, Blood and Baguettes, or something.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, I think this film is incredibly well acted. I like Choi Min-sik. He was the lead in Old Boy as well. He's a phenomenal actor overall. I'm never really disappointed with the performance of his. I think overall it's very well shot, well directed. The guy that wrote this script, by the way, this was his first script.
Yeah, it's pretty
which
wild.
is crazy. Like that's really crazy to me. I watch this movie like once a year. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to say this is a comfort movie, but I like this movie. Okay, I like this movie. So, I'm going to give this 9 delicious Korean cannibal meals out of 10. I'm sorry, that cannibal meal. I get it, Army Hammer. I get it. See, that's.
It may not be the happiest of movies, but the thing you get from it is empathy. You get empathy.
White Bear, since you've been so talkative, what about
you?
I
thought you were gonna say more, bro. I want to hear about how you hate this movie. It's
give us your final thoughts. White
Too late, Vex. You already took my rating system. That was perfect. That was so perfect. I was like, succulent Korean meal. Okay. I'm not really a fan of this genre of movie. Usually the ones that Vex suggests, which are just this partial like torture porn kind of stuff. But I understand. I think that a lot. I don't really care for the story as much, especially like how extremely flawed the protagonist is in his execution of all this. But it is definitely a story. It seems like a Jason Statham movie to me. But the difference is the true difference is to me is the last 20 minutes. I haven't seen acting like that in a long time in the protagonist and the antagonist, the protagonist especially. I mean, my word, you're looking at him, he's producing tears. He looks absolutely broken because he cannot, he can't get to that place where, the person actually feels anything, and he realizes, he's not going to feel anything. I think the way that they, do the antagonist, was just so well done, and because that's how some of these people think, I mean, that's how warped they are. So for them to be able to capture that, and like you said, it's just, this was the dude's first run at writing a script. That's amazing. So good capturing of characters and amazing acting, in my opinion. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Vex already said it, so.
I mean, that's pretty high, actually. I think you rated Old Boy like 1 or 2 out of 10.
Remember, after one of the movies that you showed us, I actually raised Old Boy up to 4. Yeah. A 4.5. Yeah.
Oh, you just made Vex
I'll
very
take
happy.
it.
Yeah, you just made her very happy. Wow. Goer King, Goer Kang. Go ahead, buddy. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it's like despite some of the issues I have, it's mostly first time watch stuff. It's definitely a movie I want to check out again. The way it's shot is excellent. I think the performances are pretty masterful. I would go so far as to say that the primary villain's performance, that's one of the best serial killer performances I've ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
That's absolutely incredible. I do have some issues with the movie, have some issues with the way some of the fights seem to play out. Again, this is stuff that could be helped with another watch. And I think certain scenes probably could have been handled a little bit better, a little bit more character development to kind of explain why he's doing this the way he's doing it. But overall, I still think for a first time watch, it was really, really strong. And the discussion, I think, helped it too. So at the moment, and this could go either which way on rewatch, I will give this 7.5 secret agent butt mics out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, White Bear did not like Old Boy.
Yeah,
Well,
White Bear was very upset with me for recommending Old Boy.
especially the reveal at the ending might have really sealed the deal for White Bear.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I again on the second rewatch of this movie, I actually did end up enjoying it more. Was able to kind of just pay more attention to what was happening, and I like it. I kind of agree with Gord. There's some things you just gotta like scratch your head and go, what the hell were they thinking when they wrote this part? But it is entertaining. It's never boring for a movie. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It doesn't really slow down.
It's very well paced.
Very well paced.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you go, oh god, I still have another half hour. It's like no, it's you're hanging on every scene to see what happens next. Again, they're right. The acting is phenomenal. It's just another thing, like Gord said earlier, where some foreign films just get overlooked because we're just used to seeing. We want American films that suck, apparently. So yeah, it's again something that wasn't on my radar, but unlike White Bear, I appreciate Vex pointing out these movies, even though Old Boy was a little fucked up, but I did enjoy
I'm going to show you the most fucked up Japanese movie I've ever watched today.
Jesus
How about that?
Can I wait till after the holidays, please? Jesus.
I mean, this disturbed even me. Let's just put it.
Oh, yeah, great.
I mean, I've seen some fucked up shit, and I mean fucked up shit.
Why? Fucking why?
Well, after what you said, after your night, I don't know what the fuck you're doing in your nights there. Yeah, we need to talk. We need to chat after.
Dude,
the show,
I'm
please.
serious. I have seen some fucked up Japanese movies that would probably make you think, what the fuck, dude? Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this
Live Leaks, the musical.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this 7 psycho. What does he fucking keep saying? You're crazy. 7. You're
Sick
crazy.
bastards.
Sick bastards out of 10.
Yeah.
It's something that I might not have a problem rewatching. Like if it's on, I'll catch it and just kind of watch through it. So yeah, that's it. I enjoyed it.
I just realized maybe the reason that you were so upset at work today was because you watched this movie during work last week.
I did actually. I did. Well,
so now you want revenge.
No, there's yeah. I was really wanting revenge. There's a couple of things that watching this movie, it has a certain tone, and I've been reading all the Spawn comics, and that is some dark shit happening in those fucking comics, man. Hell and angels and fucking it's nuts. So maybe my frame of thought is.
Dude, you need to. When we get off here, just go watch Paddington.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that'll reset you right there. Yeah.
Dude, Canoli, go check the movie I just recommended in the private chat, man. You like it.
God, let's see. Yeah. On that note.
You know what? This is okay. Not it's not a bad movie.
There are 5 of these movies, okay? 5.
It's no, I don't you fucking people are sick. You know what? All right, we're definitely having a chat after the show. Anyway, yeah. So let's go around the horn as I try to look up what this movie's about that you put in here because I'm scared. What you got going on? What you got coming up? Uninspired. I know you're doing your show on When did you? You just did one yesterday, right?
Yeah, we did one.
Was
it yesterday? It was.
Was it yesterday? It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah, we had Rags on and Greg Owen. We were doing Temple of Doom with Mega Geek. So yeah, you can check that out soon, I guess, on Dark Hours channel because we got shut down by YouTube like 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll re-upload it on Dark Hours channel soon, and then after that, we are covering 13 Ghosts on Saturday at midnight my time. So that's 6 p.m. EST. It's gonna be a midnight run. Yeah, the 13 Ghosts, the remake with Tony Shalhoub. Shaggy
they remade that movie.
Yeah, Shaggy.
I didn't know that was a remake.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a remake either.
When
you guys haven't seen the original?
No.
When did the original come out?
Oh, it's a black and white movie.
Oh yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think the original. I like the original. I think the original still holds up. But the remake is just way more entertaining. Wildly more entertaining. So yeah, we're gonna be covering that on the Dark Hours channel. So yeah, it's gonna be the next 2 hosts. But dude, thanks for having me on, man. It's
of course,
such a pleasure to be back on.
We love having
always
you here, man. Yeah, it's an open invite for you.
Even though you may or may not be your own serial killer, but we'll get into that later. No, we always love having you on, dude.
I love you, man.
No, you're awesome, dude. Yeah, you were one of the OG guests, so yes, always.
Thank you.
Even though you're French, it's okay. We still
French.
So Vex, you've been busy. You had your last live stream yesterday with Edge Runners, which was fantastic, and you have some other stuff in the works. So what you got coming up?
I was gonna have a Predator video out today, and then I got a headache. So it is what it is.
It happens. It happens.
I'm gonna try, but like the audio's recorded, the clips are all ready to go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for bullying me into recording yesterday. I needed that. But hopefully I have Thursday and Friday off, so hopefully I can pump it out for like a Saturday or Sunday premiere, and then Sunday morning, early morning, Vexhibitionism episode 3. We're gonna talk about Lisa Frankenstein.
Good movie.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on Gooch's channel doing episodes 9 and 10 of season 1 of Primal. Hopefully, I won't cry on stream again.
Oh, it's so good. Primal is so damn good.
It is.
Yeah, that's good. You're definitely check out Vex's live streams. They're freaking hilarious. When I am actually up on Sunday mornings somewhat early, I kind of catch the tail end and go back and re-listen to it. But they're very entertaining, and I like
anything to get me through the last day of my work weekend.
Dude, I love
that.
It's nice to wake up and like if I'm up before everybody, because I have my coffee and I just sit and listen to Vex.
And plus, this will be the first of her shows where she's covering something I've seen. So
oh,
cool. All right, I've seen Lisa Frankenstein.
I did see Edge Runners, and I did agree with your assessment of Edge Runners. Like it just missed the mark, just a little bit.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate everyone turning out. I didn't expect the views to be as high as I expected them to be for 2 weeks in a row now. So
listen.
I'm glad that you all are having fun.
You need to, yeah, that's fun. It's a good show.
But how do you feel about now? This is a weekly obligation. You're like, oh,
I actually don't mind. My biggest issue is like, oh man, what if I just don't want to wake up one morning? Like, what?
Don't do a show, Vex. God, no, I'm just kidding.
Right,
it's good. It's fun. I do like it.
It's an hour of my morning. It's not great. A bad way to start off the day. I quite enjoy working at my own pace as well. So
yep, that's good. And you're talking about stuff that you've seen that. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
I want to talk about, instead of just complaining about all the bad shit out there, or talking about the same 18 topics that 20 other streams have talked about in 3 days.
So goddamn frustrating. Check it out. Wipe Hair, you and your beautiful pixelated, relaxing cat videos, cat lady. What do you got? You got some new stuff coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I got working on a Mega Man related video right now, or just earlier before I almost crap. Oh crap! I gotta get on stream. Yeah, so you kind of get lost in all the fun editing. I'll be working on that. Should have about 3 or 4 videos out this week.
They're good.
Hopefully. and all that. So yeah, catch it on Bear Clan.
Doodly doo.
Doodly yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Check out White Bear stuff. It's actually very relaxing. I do listen to them. Now that he's got enough of those videos, I have a little playlist.
I put it on TV, man.
Yeah, it's so fucking just.
Thank you.
Puts me in a better frame of mind when I'm listening to that stuff, especially after today. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's good stuff. Gore Kang.
Yeah.
You had a poorly explained Terminator video that I think was your best video, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I got it's not like the highest viewed one I've done or anything, but I easily got the most, like the biggest chunk of subsubscribers. Nice little group of people.
The quality was excellent.
Found it and liked
it.
Yeah,
dude, it was a really good video.
Really good.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah,
I still don't
right
like
now,
you, but it was a good video.
For the next like every 3 days from here on, I've got 8 movies. Because I've been telling people the last couple of videos, hey, what movies would you like me to do? And there's more 9 selections. One of them I'm not gonna do the movie Frogs. That's stupid. But the other 8 movies, I am starting a little mini tournament for people to decide which one I'm gonna do. Right now, it looks like Event Horizon is gonna be the first one to pass through and to the next round, I guess. But in the meantime, while that's going on, I'm currently writing a long form review essay of the first Twilight movie. I got such an itch after we covered it. I was like, and now I've started the script, and I'm like, yeah, this will make for a fun video. So,
are we after February when we run through all the? Are you going to do another one after we watch the other?
I might. I might have to. But yeah, I cannot
wait.
I have started the script for Twilight.
Awesome.
I'm already liking what's coming out of it a lot. It's already a very fun movie to go over because it's dang.
I hope that you're going to be praising it, dude, because it's a great.
Well,
film.
I mean, it's an honest. I mean, it's an honest analysis while at the same time acknowledging fully that it's definitely a so bad it's good movie. I enjoy the heck out of watching that movie. It's freaking hilarious.
And
the last one might be even better.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get through
Breaking Dawn 2. Oh gosh.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 is just like oh man, I've seen all of them so many times. But
dude, I've never seen
Part 2. You're just like
Breaking Dawn 2 can be summed up in that GIF in my avatar.
Yeah. I've never seen these movies. This is the first time I ever watched Twilight.
Really?
Never. So I'm really like when we were suggested we'll do February. I can't wait because I had so much fun watching the first. We had a great stream. That was fucking great. Anyway,
but I had an itch to write a more honest, reviews.
Yeah.
Like I don't like writing something a little more satirical. It's fun, but you do it enough times that it's like it starts to strain the mind a little bit. So I'm like, okay, now I need to release and write something that I could be a little bit more honest about.
CGI
well, still, granted, it's still a freaking hilarious movie to write about. So,
yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, and you got your Red Dead streams, Red Dead Redemption 2 streams.
Yeah, we're still Red Deading and stealing from Leviticus Cornwall.
Do it.
You're a good man, Arthur.
Beautiful.
Bathing Arthur whenever Vex shows up.
I know. Whatever. Oh, White Bear, you beautiful human being, you. Bless your heart. You know what? I'll just give you this.
I need it.
Chorizo.
Beautiful. I needed it. I needed it in my life. Thank you.
I love you. Yes, and as far as we will be back next week on the 2nd, is it? Yes, 2nd of December. We are coming back to finish the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So we're doing
finally
extended edition of Return of the King. This is a 2-parter. So we're doing the first part next week, and then in 2 weeks after that, we're finishing the second part. But we got some good guests. We have Shield Wall Dragons, and we have Max Van Priestley. Jesus Christ, Max! I can't even fucking.
He's Van Priestley.
Yeah. Anyway, we have some good guests coming on for that. Some diehard fans of the trilogy. I'm looking forward to that. Finish up. You do not have to pull my arm to watch Lord of the Rings, especially the last one. But because we broke it up, we all know how much Vex loves doing Lord of the Rings.
I cry like a bitch every time Aragorn turns back and says for Frodo, man. Like,
Hey,
I'd
good
probably
one.
jump into my TV screen and go to war.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Theoden's speech, one of the best moments in cinema history.
It's so good.
Oh.
I get in trouble watching those movies because I have obviously the 4K dope and the surround sound. I turn that fucker up so loud and just it's my neighbors hate. And now that the weather's nice here, the windows and doors are open, everybody's gonna hate me. I don't give a shit. It's worth it.
Just invite your neighbors for say, I'm watching
the
You want to hop on? It's like, hey, fuck yeah.
Goodwin is still mad that he has to be on the Covenant stream, but that's a Vex issue. Don't yell at me. That's her birthday pick. Jesus.
But Jay, it's
you mean the
Alien Covenant starring Juicy Smollett? How would you not want to cover?
Oh, that's going to be a shit show. But I can't wait to get into that. Yeah, so we'll be back next week, same time, 9 p.m.
This is cannoli country, baby.
Baby. Part 1 of the end of the Return of the King. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, it's been great. You guys in the chat are freaking fantastic as always. We love you. Thank you for stopping by and supporting us. Please subscribe to all these wonderful people. They're great. Not only great people, well, some of them are great people, some I just don't care about. But no, they're great people, great content creators. You're really missing out if you're not paying attention to them. And I'm glad that I know these people somewhat. Anyway, I love you. Thank you. Goodwin. You're going to love being on Covenant. We'll suffer together. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.